Right, so we're doing another one of these. Yeah, the UFO 50 is getting a lot of video mileage.
So we're gonna talk about Bomberman now, right?
Bomberman, who's had some sort of
Bomberman Tournament. Not really sure why it's called Bomberman Tournament. Probably a localization goof, but this is a GBA game I owned as a kid. It's one of the few I owned, but it's also the only Bomberman game I have any real experience with. But I had this game and I played it, and it's really, really fun, and I liked it a lot. It is, Bomberman, so you've got the multiplayer aspect where I believe you only need the one cart, but
nice.
yeah. So that's kind of the thing about GBA going forward is that I guess Game Boy had this too, but you had the link cable thing. So you had multiplayer with the GBA, but you had to have a bunch of these link cables. Like for every other person playing with you, you had to have link cables, and sometimes sometimes you had to have
-1. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you'd have to have like multiple cartridges, but sometimes you just had the one. And I believe this is the case where you only need the one.
Yeah, and the GBA is one of their new features because they were able to download like enough of the game in memory into just memory where they could play, a multiplayer game. Which you probably won't fit in an entire multiplayer game in memory on the regular Game Boy.
Yeah.
Right. But and then there is a single player mode, which is actually a fairly large campaign where you're
Zelda-esque.
Yeah, you have Pokemon and the little animal guys.
Yeah, so like the previous game on the Game Boy Color was like, hey, we heard Pokemon is a hit. We're going to try to force Pokemon into fucking Bomberman. But here they decided to actually put a justification for the Pokemon, in that when you pick them up, they're different equipable abilities.
Yeah, it's a fairly complex sort of adventure game with all these different abilities you unlock and different bombs to give you access to different things. So it's a little Metroidvania-esque, which is why the last time I played this. Yeah, last time I played this, I played it in a randomizer that combined this with another game on our list. That was just you would enter a house and then go into the other game and then back, and they just shared items. It was very silly, in the same way that he had Link to the Past combined with Super Metroid. But we'll get to that. This game is really good. It's fairly unique, but then it's you could probably substitute for Zelda if we're really being picky. But
nah, I mean the multiplayer alone makes it unique.
That's true. Actually,
you have just Bomberman as well, so
yeah, it's dual purpose. So it's you got Bomberman multiplayer, and then you got a pretty decent single player campaign. So
yeah, I was gonna say it's quite interesting putting emphasis on the. So obviously, Bomberman as a multiplayer thing. So oh god.
Yeah. They tried, this is actually sort of kind of follow-up to, a Game Boy Color game, or maybe just original Game Boy that was even more Link's Awakening inspired, in that your bomb wasn't permanently on A. But yeah, this is really good, and also, it also honestly can, the battle theme for Bomberman has been done a million times, but for some reason the one on this one, when you play multiplayer, it's an 8-bit theme. It's probably one of the best renditions of that theme I've heard.
At least really good.
Yeah.
You got him.
Yeah, the bosses steal one of your dudes to become the boss.
I thought that was the boss. It was like a Vice style thing going on or something. Yeah, I mean, yeah, looks good to me. Is that a yellow though because of the potential Zelda coming up?
I'd say
you can do it.
probably not, unless we really need to cut things.
Yeah, I think this is pretty safe just because it's
It's different
Bomberman on the
enough.
GBA.
Alright,
Yeah.
sure. I guess I should say we've got like 70 odd. So we don't have to be
Right,
like
yeah.
that strict. So, alright, if you want to make that green, that's fine.
Yeah, sure.
Here we go.
Yeah. Next one, another kind of puzzly, top-down-y kind of thing.
Oh,
An old
this is fun.
Dreamcast game, Dreamcast 50.
Yeah, so I actually didn't play this much, but I did play it briefly. And so I can't say too much about it, but I do remember it being pretty cool. Yoshi, do you got anything on this?
No, this is a game I would have played, but I didn't. I just didn't really know about it until it's too late. This is absolutely my kind of game, but
As far as I
Yeah,
know,
it's-
this GBA port is pretty much spot on with the Dreamcast version. The Dreamcast never really needed 3D graphics to portray this stuff.
Yeah.
so it's basically just put panels down that make the mice move in the direction when they cross it.
Kind of Lemmings-esque now I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
about it.
And then you avoid the cats, I believe is what they are. Some of the levels have some of these guys moving around that you have to avoid. So, yeah, that is
Sounds
kind of what
exactly
you're
what-
looking at.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so. Let's skip ahead a bit, maybe let's at least see that. There's the cats. Very abstract designs. I think you told me it's like the release of this game was the first time I learned that chew is like Japanese for like the onomatopoeia for a squeak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, there's not really much to talk about. Is that what you see is what you get? I think.
Yeah,
some
and
extras.
it looks pretty good, and unfortunately we don't have too much experience with, but this looks incredibly solid, and I've always heard it talked about fondly and such. So
we
This
just
is a thing I think we have to put yellow until we see what our puzzle layout is looking like, and if it's light enough, then we can just go ahead and greenlight it. I think this is very much just this is going in unless we have like a bunch of puzzle games that are fighting for position. But
yeah. Honestly, that's yellow.
also these characters make a cameo in another GBA game that I think we'll be talking about. So hooray!
Alright. Alright, so we've got some obscure game you've probably never heard of next.
Oh, I have
We didn't
never.
I talked about it yesterday.
Yeah,
That's weird. I've never heard of it.
yeah, it came up for some reason. I have no idea why.
I think it's like some sort of like Wolfenstein ripoff. Right, so this port of Doom. I don't know, I just felt like it should be acknowledged. It's not bad. For what it is.
And
For what it
Green Blood.
is. Yeah,
Green Blood, yeah.
Green Blood, yeah.
This is insane. Like, I don't know what it is about Doom that they're like, this is revolutionary. Let's try to put it on every console in the world.
Well, everyone wants it. No matter how,
It's true.
how
And the other thing was, yeah, they were in when they first were making ports. It was the era of the awkward transitional era where there were 9 different consoles out
yeah.
trying to be the new thing.
Right.
Oh man, those poor ass pixels.
Yeah, a
Is-
brief reminder how small the GBA screen is. Also, remember the original design of it pre-SP. That I guess we'll acknowledge this now because it's going to come up again. Like that thing. Oh my god, that screen is really dark. Like it is. You've got to hold.
Oh,
You've got to.
right.
You've got to like land on the surface of the sun in order to be able to see that screen. I still have my original GBA, and I've been very kind of. My use of smartphones over the years has completely made me forget just how illegible that screen is. That is
It
not
was
that clear.
bad.
It was bad. So a lot of these
definitely
early
played Fear
games,
the Lamp.
yeah, a lot of these games have really bright palettes, and it's definitely the
Oh
case
yeah,
here.
they compensated by
Actually, yeah, it reminds me. One of my only memories of playing the GBA was playing at like late at night, playing Bomberman Tournament in the dark with like some sort of like desk lamp attachment thing.
Yeah, like
that
a
was stuck on
snake
top
light.
of it. Yeah, yeah. It's like pointing a light directly at the screen in order to fucking see it at night.
Yeah.
It's like,
I think that was like
Jesus.
required.
Those boxes of bullets look radioactive. That can't be
They
good.
do. They're very bright.
I want to acknowledge that
But,
because this is like the gamma's cranked up. It's not like a color palette limitation. It's so you can see the damn game, and that's going to like completely influence another game that's going to come up like massively.
Right. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, we wanted to acknowledge this, but I don't think this is what you want to do with your GBA. Like, unless we're completely dry in first-person shooters.
Well,
even then, I'm not.
Well,
sure.
to be honest with you, even if we did include there was a superior one. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
So, probably just because Doom 2 has also been ported. Oh, strangely, we'll get to that. But strangely, not the same porting team. It's actually like a different engine or something, if I recall.
Yeah.
You presume they just use
Weird.
this one again, but no. So, but I would say, like, Doom 2 is just straight up better. So, probably just
Okay.
read this just because I've also got Doom 2 on the list.
sure, yeah.
But honestly, this isn't... It's a weird, because it's like...
Not terrible.
Yeah, it's not terrible. But... I mean, and also it's just really representing the GBA? I don't know.
Yeah.
Alright. So,
Alright.
next one, we're gonna get into some overlap with the beat 'em up thing. So this, I've included this because this is the first version of Final Fight I ever played. At the time, I only knew it as being Streets of Rage-like. I didn't realize it was the inspiration for Streets of Rage. I thought it was the other way around, but anyway.
Oh my god, that flashbang down there.
Yeah. I very specifically got a video of this bonus mode where you can play as Alpha Cody and Alpha Guy. Very silly mode that they included. Well, just an alternate character. But
I'll say this, but I almost, like, it almost colored my interpretation of it because I thought they just lazily ripped things from Alpha and put it in the game as, the main game. I was like,
no,
it's
it's very much a I mean, yeah, the sprites don't really fit, but it's just a bonus.
Yeah.
I want to try and find a boss, though. No, not you. Not Hugo. There it is. They have these little bits of dialogue, and whenever you get to a boss, and the gimmick with Alpha Cody, Alpha Guy is that they know that they're in the past. So they're just like reacting like, oh, I've gone back in time to 1989.
And I'm also picking my nose.
I think he's doing like the Bruce Lee kind of no swipe thing rather than picking it. Oh, this is Alpha 3, level 3. Well, that was a tough fight.
Alrighty then.
Still final fight.
Yeah, it's still final fight.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
god, that fucking blinking.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and they use the Alpha sprites whenever there's another character from there. But yeah, it's Final Fight. It's a good port of Final Fight. Well, we know for a fact it's not our favorite beat 'em up. It's fine, but
Right.
mostly including this just to acknowledge this weird extra they had. Yeah. How does it feel? This isn't going to be the only beat 'em up.
That seems like a yellow until we see the rest of the list.
Fair enough.
Looks like that probably would get included.
Why did Fire Emblem get put as a beat 'em up?
It is a beat 'em up.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna just.
Yeah. If you could correct that for me, yes, that'd be appreciated. You didn't say it was a rouge-like. Alright, so we're yellowing that. We'll move on.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a Game Boy Advance game. Okay, someone else needs to talk here. I don't know.
Yeah. So this is Golden Sun by Camelot, first party, or not? Yeah, first party.
They did the sports games, right? A lot
Yes,
of the
they
Mario
do the Mario
sports
sports
games.
This is basically just the sort of de facto original RPG for the system, and it's also kind of a what do you call it, a Sonic and Knuckles thing, where it ended up being split into 2 games,
Right.
because it was big enough, including transferring your item through an enormous password, although you could choose shorter passwords that didn't transfer as much, or if you had a link cable and 2 Game Boys, you could transfer that way.
Okay. Is that the other game on here, The Lost Age?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the second part, so to speak.
Alright.
But they definitely feel like full games on their own, simply because the whole thing is way too massive for a single cart.
Was it too... How big is it? I mean, the GBA held some pretty big games, but I'm not doubting you, but
But pretty big.
yeah.
The first game alone feels like the size of your average RPG in there. So the main battle gimmick is you get these little creatures called Jinn, who you equip them to people, and like they come in the 4 elements, and depending on the elements in the character's original element, they have a different. They change the class of your character.
Right.
But during battle, you can unleash the Jinn one at a time to do specific things based on the specific one.
Right.
And then once they're unleashed, they're in a standby mode, and then you use the standby mode ones to summon to do summons, and then they are off cooldown, and then they eventually become equipped. And so you repeat the process over and over again. That's what you do for like bosses.
Right.
Whereas it's a little awkward, because if you like try to do one of the one of the classes they don't start as, then when you start unleashing everything, you end up as something completely different. But I couldn't really wrap my head around that too much as a kid, so I just went with defaults. The other thing with this game is that it has a heavy emphasis on puzzles and using your synergy, which is your magic, psychic magic power, whatever, using specific spells to like, as puzzle solving elements as well.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of hard to like break down a JRPG like this.
RPG,
yeah. Very pre-rendered looking graphics, I'm noticing.
Yeah, absolutely. A very distinct kind of style of dialogue too, where the characters constantly like emote and pulse, so to speak.
This is giving me real Shining vibes. Because of the menus, like the shaking head and nodding head thing.
Oh, you mean the menus? Yeah.
I meant the Sega series, not the Stephen King book. Yeah.
I'm so confused.
Yeah.
The only question I really have is, what justifications do we have for including one or the other or both? Like, is the sequel better? Are we including the original because it's a good starting point?
Do you have to? Do you have to have played the first one to enjoy the second?
No, you don't. And they're kind of they were developed at the same time, so they're kind of, neither one stands out from the other. It's very much, like I said, Sonic and Knuckles and Sonic 3.
Right.
Like, there isn't a huge amount of overlap. But unlike those, they're both like a game on their own. Like, it's just like that, except like people don't combine them in the modern, you can't actually lock them on, so they are still 2 separate games.
Should we just yellow that and then we'll actually discuss it when we get to the sequel or part 2, whatever.
Yeah.
Sure.
Kururin.
So, this one is, despite the name, this is an English release.
You're a pony, I believe.
Just forward through gameplay and you'll see it's much easier to show you than to tell you here.
Yeah, but I like little animations.
Oh, this game.
Yeah.
This is gameplay. Look, check it out. Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure it shows it, like the sort of what it's really depicting. It's a little... There, here we go. There you go. You get it. Oh, it's like eating. I love Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Yeah, so this is there's this sort of thing where you like move through a thing without touching the sides. And this is like that, but you're piloting a stick that just constantly rotates.
I love the contrast between this and
layer.
Golden Sun. Like, Golden Sun required Yoshi to explain it for 10 minutes. This one, you see it and I get it. You know? You know? It's not to say, like, one's, like, more interesting than the other. It's just, like, yeah. You get it. What do you have to do? No, I got it.
Yep.
That'd be Feel Your Health. Got it. Yeah, it's a good puzzle game. I remember this coming out. I've got very distinct memories of, like, the early GBA. I think I had a magazine. I was quite an early adopter of the GBA, and I remember having a magazine, and it came with a VHS tape. I remember that.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean that's. We were in the internet era, but we still weren't streaming video really that reliably yet. So I still had a VHS of the GBA. God, I wish I still had it.
To be
That'd be
honest, I don't know if
fascinating.
I call this a puzzle game necessarily, but I don't know what I would call it.
I got my genre labels from Wikipedia, so just been wondering. That is not me choosing those, but I honestly I think this is a green. It's so simple. There's a Japanese only sequel, but yeah, there is a sequel, but I think it's Japan only. So I just thought I'm just gonna to avoid that. Like this first one's fine. I think that's a green.
Hey, you can play it on your Nintendo Switch.
Oh, can you? Oh, nice. Alright. Assuming Yasuke's alright with that.
Yes.
This game sucks! He's like biting his lip going, oh, I fucking hate Kururin. Oh, I'm not gonna say.
I have nothing to add to that. That looks cool.
Yeah. Let's move on. Who the hell's that green thing? This is another kind of like no shit kind of.
Yeah.
It's Mario Kart on the Game Boy Advance. It's kind of interesting because it's the only other game that is sort of 2D, so to speak.
Mode 7 kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah. But it's very different from the first one because it's bringing the ideas from Mario Kart 64 back to this sort of setting. In particular, the way the power slides work, whereas in the first game, the power slides were really weird. And, like, actually not falling off the course was more of an issue than it is in modern games.
It's interesting, yeah, because, like, the Super Nintendo game, like, started a genre. And then by the time this kind of feels more. I mean, yeah, that you had the 64, but this very much feels like number 2, given the similarity to hardware. It's kind of funny since then. This is now a genre, but that's a big difference.
Yeah.
This is just straight up a genre since the last time we looked at a Mario Kart game, you know. Was Double Dash after this? I presume so.
Yep.
2002
Yeah, that would be on the GameCube. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually don't know the relative order, but I think so. Especially knowing that this is a launch year title.
Man, imagine like launching a Nintendo console with a Mario Kart game. That'd be pretty weird.
Never do that.
No. There's not much to talk about, is
It's
there?
kind of interesting that this game also has all of the old courses as well. It's the first
All of them?
from Super Mario Kart,
Is it like literally all
the
of them?
original game. Yeah, as
I guess
well
there wouldn't be
as-
that many, so I'm not, you know. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's Mario Kart. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
can't think of a
It's
reason
kind
not
of
to
like,
make- yeah.
what do you expect us to say?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Like, I don't know how we can not put this in there.
Yeah.
Everyone knows what this is because it's that important, so...
Maybe not this particular entry, but definitely like this series, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this is
Alright.
sometimes, this entry kind of gets overlooked, and it's not, you shouldn't sleep on it.
Do you want to know how much of an idiot I am? I was trying to find the next game in the list because it's not alphabetical, just the way I did it. So I thought, oh, let's just type in the word advance. Oh, fucking idiot. Moving on to Sonic Advance. So I'm noticing
Hey, I own this one.
I'm noticing a pattern here. I'm getting lots of like groups of games because we're not going to include like there's 2 Sonic platformers here. Yeah, there's 2 Doom games, so
Yeah.
there might be a future discussion. But yeah, another crossover with the previous tier list we did. There's more Sonic games on the GBA. Oh, yeah, I want to acknowledge now. No Mario, like like ports of the NES or SNES Mario games. Like they don't count. So it's kind of weird doing this list without any Mario Advance game, but those are our rules, and we're sticking to them.
I mean, there's no reason except for the you can talk a little about the first one that was Super Mario 2, because that one is just made to be a tech demo, and they changed the game randomly to make it a tech demo.
Yeah, I remember that thing like jumping out of the ground when you step on it.
You have a
like,
bunch
really
of
random.
huge sprites and sprite rotations just to let you know that you have huge sprites and sprite rotations and voice clips.
You are huge. You have sprite rotations. Right. So this game,
But back to what we're watching.
So I think I might as well just say now it's this in Sonic Advance 2. I didn't bother with 3 because reasons we stated in the Sonic video. This one is
Yeah, we've
more.
been over this territory.
Yeah, this one, Sonic Advance 1, is more of a conventional Sonic game, like kind of more of an all-rounder. And Sonic Advance 2 is more gimmicky, as we'll get to. But it's kind of weird we have a conventional Sonic game, but not a conventional Mario game.
Mario game.
Yeah. But I think very much like Doom and some of the other ones that I think we're not gonna have both Sonic games. I presume that's just gonna be natural, right?
Probably not.
No, I very much doubt that. So I would presume this is gonna be yellow until we get Sonic Advance 2, and then the real discussion will begin between a conventional Sonic game or a kind of a gimmicky one that's a bit more unique.
Yeah. Make sure we get enough time this running. Yeah, but we ran this enough time so that people can see
So
what it looks like.
So I almost wish we did this alphabetically, otherwise the order would be a bit less weird, because then we could just do that now, but...
yeah, but at the same time, it'd also be weird to jump around in time.
Supposedly the discussion we'll be having is if we want GBA 50, and to mind is GBA 50, do we want the gimmicky Sonic game, or do we want the, quote, normal one?
Yeah.
So, yeah, anyway, we'll move on. So, I don't know why, I had a real hard time finding a video of this game. I don't know why, it's not particularly obscure or anything. I distinctly remember this from, like, the early life of the GBA. I think that was like early emulators, and everyone's trying to get it emulated. This is a Techno's game.
Oh God, there's no nose on that person.
Oh yeah, she way to point it out. There's a chow there. It's kind of reminds me of what's it called in UFO 50, the hacky sack, whatever it's called.
Oh yeah.
Hotfoot. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the NES version of this looks like it plays pretty much the same as this one.
Pretty much, yeah.
Additions. But like that was one of the most famous games on that platform.
It was, yeah. This is different enough. Where I wouldn't call it a port, but it's certainly very similar. And I don't really know what to add. What you see, you get these like special abilities. Although I find these strategies always just backing off and doing a running jump, like just doing a running shot. So I don't know. I remember there's one of these on the Neo Geo, I believe.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Right.
This is a game I've just kind of find neat, but I'm not gonna pretend I'm an expert on it either. So I guess it's just kind of general. How novel is this? Is this GBA 50 enough? I suppose.
Well, I'd put it in yellow. See what?
Yeah, I can't.
It's definitely not
say a lot
green.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just the yellow. I don't. Have
It's also
anything
very
to add to
early.
it.
It kind of shows that it's early.
Yeah.
So. Alright, next one.
Oh boy.
Another obscure game that nobody's ever heard of. Obscure shitty games. It's a weird.
That art. the icons just being that art.
The artwork's really good, but being squashed
It
like
is,
that is not very complimentary. This so here's a fun fact. This is the first Street Fighter game I ever owned. Strangely.
Oh dear.
No, it's pretty good. It's a good
I've
port.
heard it as such.
It's weird. It's definitely a weird way to play it. Yeah, this game has this port has like a very fucked up thing of wing quotes. Like there's 4 characters and they're just completely jumbled around.
Oh dear.
Yeah. But the biggest problem with this version is, and oh yeah, these stages are mostly original. Like this is Chun's like Alpha 2 stage, I believe. Or is it Alpha 1? I forget. They gave him original stages. The biggest problem with this game is the GBA only has 4 buttons, and they did their best to try and solve that. They had you could like press or hold a button to get a mid out. So they did what they could, and it plays pretty well. I actually want to show the menu, because this actually has a lot of modes for what it is.
It has
Well, okay, you unlock the extra modes. It does, trust me, it does have unlockable modes. You just earn fight versus points at the bottom there. Including a fight with Akuma, and then Shin Akuma, and then you can unlock him as a playable character.
Just don't get to the Akuma fight the regular way.
No. So there's the Harrier jump jet from Charlie's stage. I don't think it's literally, but
No, it's at a weird angle.
it's at a funny angle.
You know, planes can do that, right?
What hover?
Yeah.
The Harrier jump jet can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, that's not a flub. Although the one in Charlie's is a bit better animated. It's there's the game over. So yeah, it's Street Fighter 2. It's a good version, but how do we feel about fighting games on this?
I think the Game Boy Advance actually has more unique fighting games on it than this.
I mean, if it does, I haven't put them on it. I did not go with like the weird Guilty Gear port and stuff like that, because I feel like that was like punching above its weight. I don't know. So I don't have much
We'll put it
experience
on yellow to see what you did.
Yeah,
It does suffer for being a port of a game you can play otherwise.
Yeah.
And while it does do some new things, and it is good, it doesn't like super unique things.
I feel like we should make room for more unique games for the GBA, and then port stuff is definitely like we can consider it if like unless it's something that we think is like an incredible like portable experience, then
I just realized something.
I think
We did not include Street Fighter 2 and the other ones because the arcade version exists, but I've done it here. Like, why did I do that?
yeah,
Because
I don't.
I think
I
that
think it's
handheld
mostly
thing.
because it just everything seems more impressive when you put it on a thing.
Yeah, maybe it's like nostalgia. This definitely. Well, this has stuff in it that like this is changed more from the arcade version,
It has
admittedly.
vector modes, it has more changes, and it's more thoughtfully designed, so to speak.
Yeah. Alright, well, that's a yellow. We'll move on. Anyway, next game. This is one I absolutely did own. This is I got this with my GBA. I almost want to say.
Activision is surprisingly prevalent during these in this early section.
Yeah, it is. It makes perfect sense here, unless someone's like published Doom or whatever. So yeah, we're finally get to talk about Tony Hawk's game. Oh, didn't even know it had a tutorial. I don't think I ever played the tutorial. I don't even think the PS1
You
version
did an
had this.
ollie.
So this is what this is made by Vicarious Visions, who I believe did Tony Hawk's 1 and 2, and they did such a good job with that they got merged into fucking the Call of Duty minds. But they they did these GBA ports, and I've got 2 and 3 on here. There are more than that, but this is the one I know. And as you can see, it's pre-rendered levels with little polygonal guys on it. Even has the character creator, believe it or not.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I think it does. I'm pretty sure it does. I'm pretty sure I played as a custom character. And although it looks kind of primitive, it honestly plays really well. I mean, granted, yeah, you can't see too far ahead, but it's not as bad as you might think. It's surprisingly. I love these character models.
Holy shit.
Bear in mind, this is not.
Little tiny Kareem Campbell.
God, I love how they're just trying to convey little Rodney Mullen there with his no phase. But even, this is also like, this isn't just GBA. This is like early GBA. This is like, I don't know if it's launch, but it's definitely launch window.
Yeah, it's launched 2001.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, you mean launch?
Well, whatever. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying.
Launch year.
I suppose the biggest downside is that there's none of the licensed music, but come on, like even the N64 barely had it in. This ain't gonna happen. So you get this very, very generic music, but other than that, damn it, it's Tony Hawk's. It's a different level. Nope. I believe that's School 2? What is it? Yeah, School 2. Yeah, revive the... So I don't know how many like of these 50 things we're gonna do, but this might be our only chance to get a Tony Hawk's game on here. I don't know. But I've also got the third game as well. Ow. So
yeah, so this is the most interesting difference between this and the other ones. Is there's a lot more of things where like this is technically a port and a sort of inferior port, but it's also kind of crazy for what you're doing.
yeah.
For the console you're on. It's just a very unique thing that you saw on the Game Boy Advances.
Yeah.
We're getting real experimental with it to make portable versions of a popular game.
I wasn't even aware that, like, I've never seen a GBA game with like a polygonal player character.
Oh, well, this is not
It's
the
not
only
the-
one. Yeah, no.
it's-
It can do polygons to a certain degree.
Yeah.
$100
It's like,
bucks
I'm
in
not
back
too
to face.
surprised, but yeah, I don't know. I just didn't expect it. That's really cool. I like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater a lot. Never played this one. It looks very interesting.
Alright.
I guess if there's another one on here that we just have to yellow it and then just
Yeah.
talk about it later.
Alright.
This next game, I don't know what the fuck, who put this on here.
I don't know, some idiot.
Well, let's talk about this game again. Again.
I don't.
So I guess in some weird way this, because like Wario was like almost like the mascot of the Game Boy line, right? You know.
He kind of took over the Game Boy line, yeah.
Yeah, so like this is kind of in a weird way the one, I might be mistaken, the one, oh, it's that weird video where it's too hard. We'll finally get to show this then, without immediately cutting it. This is like the flagship first-party platform for the GBA, I guess.
First year too, yeah.
Yeah, it was like super early. This is another one I absolutely owned. And there's an entire watch of me saying I really like this game. And I cannot think of a good reason not to make it green.
Yeah?
Even though it might be the subscribed genre, but it is the GBA platformer.
This is your mainline Mario game for this console, so, you know, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. We'll do that thing where we put a YouTube card up there that says, yeah, look at this video.
I don't know if I can do that. I will if I can, I will.
I mean, not only is this, like, you know, basically the mainline Nintendo platformer that we're gonna get, it's also an incredibly unique game, so much so that people are now just trying to ride nostalgia for it.
Yeah.
So, because it's that influential for some people.
But they're not gonna make
really good.
There were Wario games after this, but they never made a Wario Land 4.
Weird, too.
5, I should say. Yeah. So, yeah. It's so good.
Yeah.
Well, guess we might as well just move on.
Yeah, I mean, I greened it. It's in. We're playing it.
Next one. So we're getting back to the plight of the adventure games. Like, can we get a point-and-click adventure game? And we finally kind of got one. I don't mean actually kind of nothing. This is just straight up a port of a classic PC point-and-click game.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was wondering if the subtitle meant it was different or not, but no.
No.
I'm not too familiar with Broken Sword, but I have heard of it. And its reputation.
No animated cutscenes though. They had to draw the line somewhere, so you get these stills.
Sure.
Not quite as good. They're already, but when we get to the gameplay, you'll see GBA can do FMV to a certain extent, but when we get to the main game, you see just how much they're already squeezing on here. Like, damn.
I mean, they already ported fucking Dragon's Lair to the GBA. Like,
oh yeah, that Capcom one, yeah.
Not GBA, GB.
Yeah.
Game Boy Color.
Yeah.
Don't shoot, I'm an American!
Can't make up your mind, huh? I've kind of dabbled in this series, but I've never played it seriously. I keep meaning to. They've also re-released this game like 100 times. There's like many different versions you can play on PC, including just playing it through Scum. This and the sequel, The Smoking Mirror. But yeah, they just put it on the GBA. Minus the voice acting.
Yeah. This is interesting, but I also feel like part of the novelty is like, oh, we could have this on the go, but I don't know, this one doesn't strike me as a particularly portable game.
No,
like,
it
I feel
is
like,
a novelty.
Yeah, like the acting, the voice acting and the animation, like, you really want this to be as good looking and sounding as possible if you're going to play this, and this is not ideal for either of those things.
I'm also looking at it now, and I'm also thinking like how challenging it is going to be to discern things on that tiny ass screen.
Yeah.
This is kind of a very impressive, but yeah, now you've said that, I'm like,
this
yeah,
isn't
actually,
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater where it's like
no.
mind blowing.
I mean, it's impressive. Yeah, like look at this. Like, what are you even looking at in here?
Oh, it's an arrow. A big arrow. How cool. Yeah, no, this is interesting as it is. I think we should just red light this one because it is.
Us. Alright. That's fair enough. Next one.
Oh boy, we have 3 of these to talk about.
Well, I don't think we do.
We have 2 of these to talk about.
Yeah, I did not put fucking... I didn't even put this one on. I didn't mind Circle the Moon.
Right, yeah.
Circle the Moon fucking sucks.
Yeah, it does. Harmony is definitely better. It's actually, I would argue that it's good, but not great. It is certainly inferior to the other one on this list, but it is worth mentioning, I suppose.
I didn't put this on my list. I don't dislike Harmony, but
yeah,
I didn't bother putting it on.
No, because I played this. This is the game I was alluding to. There was a randomizer that combined Bomberman Tournament and Harmony of Dissonance into one game, where you could like switch back and forth and found items for them. I don't know why this one in particular, that the person who made it just felt like it, but so I did play through it relatively recently, and it's good, honestly. Like,
it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's not great, but if you want like kind of a really, really like bit crush version of Symphony of the Night, you kind of have it here.
Yeah.
It has a lot of things that make that good. It also has the 2 castles in the worst way possible. In that,
yeah.
What do you mean?
The same way. I got you. I hear you.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no. There's a second castle that you don't even go through it like after you beat the first one.
No.
You play through it in the middle of going through the original castle, and they're the same. Like they have different stuff in them, but it's not like the inverted castle where there's something sort of like innately interesting about going through an upside down castle. No, it's just the same castle, but it looks different.
Yeah.
And it's it kind of makes you feel like you're playing the same game twice, and it's a little dumb.
Dark World, but lame.
Yeah. Mostly just like the combat's fine. Like, it is very much what Metroidvania, like what Symphony of the Night, like what do you call it, innovated on. And it's just like more of that. It doesn't play with the formula too much, but it's good.
You only get the whip,
I'm going
right?
to Yes, you have the whip, and then you have sort of like the Gunstar Heroes thing, where you have like elements combined with your sub-weapon to make all sorts of different combination
magic.
spells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that. Thanks.
Yeah. Yep. And those can be pretty interesting. There's a lot of really fun stuff that you do with that, and that's kind of it.
I want to acknowledge the graphics and sound. They're pretty noteworthy.
It is certainly a fucking ugly game. Holy crap.
It's technically impressive. There's like every other boss has like rotating sprites and things like that, but they, going back to the issue of the GBA screen, they cranked like the gamma up to 11 and gave Juiced here this like big ugly border around it, like this aura, like he's Dimitri or something. Just
Actually,
so you can
I take that back.
see him.
There's good looking graphics in this game.
Well,
but
it looks better
awful...
than Circle.
It does. There's awful use of color. Like, there's areas in this place that have like cute green and pink.
Yeah.
And it just looks ugly as shit at certain points. But the sprites themselves are good. It's just the color usage is very weird in this.
There's if you ever play this, like I played a ROM hacker. This just like changes all the palettes and just makes it way more digestible.
A lot of grayscale in this too, so it just is not as pleasant to look at as some other games. But
and that music, oh boy,
yeah. I don't hate it, but I certainly don't like it. I don't like the GBA sound in general, to be honest.
Well, I don't think it has a sound chip. It's just I forget how it works exactly. It's just like playing at samples. I might be wrong here. What I've heard the issue with this game is it's like it has like share processing, and because they put so much into the crazy graphics, like the big sprites and everything, that they had to subtract from the music, and you get this very original Game Boy sounding soundbar. The compositions aren't bad, and I actually, part of me kind of likes how well dissonant the some of the music sounds in a good way. This game definitely has a vibe that the other ones don't have.
I mean, you talk about it sounding Game Boy-like, but like,
well,
this is a
it's closer
series
to it.
known for good music on the NES and Game Boy, so
Yeah, but if I don't know what it is, it sounds like the compositions are. It doesn't sound. It doesn't sound very good. Well, whatever it is, it doesn't sound very good. It sounds just kind of balked. And it's also less forgivable when it's not literally on the Game Boy. I don't know, like if you're comparing this to Aria. And even Circle sounded better than this, even if that game almost like entirely lifted from other games.
That game was a Game Boy Color game on the GBA,
More or less. Pretty much.
So, I'm just gonna go ahead and put that in yellow because I know where this is going, but... I mean, I might as well read it, but, you know, whatever.
I don't hate it, but, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's better than its reputation it leads you to believe, but it's not... It is inferior to the other game,
Right.
so...
Right, so we're doing our first kind of like, alright, which one of these, if either, makes it in. So, not the same engine, believe it or not. So, yeah, I guess the real question is, are either of these going in, though?
Yeah.
This looks a lot better.
I've heard
Like,
it
the
is.
HUD doesn't look like 8 colors.
Definitely weirder because it's the one that doesn't use the Doom engine.
Right. Taking the music, it definitely sounds better. It's all green blood.
I don't know
hey,
about
Nintendo.
that, but
Interesting sound font.
Yeah.
I do know for a fact that there are actually quite a few first-person shooters on the GBA, but like X versus Sever and things like that. But was it Sever or Server? Sorry, Server. But well, I haven't played enough to put them on the list.
In a while.
Well, I haven't played enough to. I was trying not to put too many games that I'm like, oh, I've heard of this, but I don't have anything to say. So. Also, bear in mind the controls. I straight for the shoulder buttons, so it's not horrible, but. Oh, let's see this super shotgun. I mean, that's why I played Doom 2, right?
This song. This rendition of this song is...
Oh, that frame rate's getting a bit chunky.
I'm just gonna go... I was gonna go ahead and say that this is not an ideal way to play this game.
No.
And... I don't see putting it in just entirely on novelty alone.
Fair enough.
I mean, we could
Especially
yellow it if you...
there are actual, like, original first-person shooters. This isn't where, like, the thing where, like, you're having Tony Hawk on the game. No,
That's fine.
Having...
These are both red then. That's fine. I am not gonna leave. I can't say I would willingly do a big playthrough of this myself. I am not jumping to its defense. So, moving on.
I love if you do the super shotgun against a wall, then your screen gets filled with fucking smoke particles and the game lags down to 5 frames a second.
Holy shit.
It just completely loses its shit. Whoa.
We are watching a cartoon here. Oh god, we're gonna get taken down. Yeah, like I said before, the GBA could do FMV to a certain extent. I mean, it had GBA video, but I was gonna put about in GBA 50. Where I'm gonna put in like entire episodes of Ed, Edd and Eddy. I mean, I probably should. You know, I'm not gonna edit this. I'll get so laughter.
Sound, though.
Oh, this is what it sounded like
Yeah.
when they aired it on Cartoon Network. This is Rock the Dragon. Also, this has been cut off.
Oh my god.
This has been cut off slightly since I last edited it, so that's great. Right, what's the actual game? I did not. This is not my suggestion. I believe this is Yoshi. Oh, me Piccolo.
Yeah, this is just a straight up weird RPG thing, action RPG thing.
Mm-hmm.
And this is dialogue.
This
just
is
kind of run around, and shoot things, and sort of Zelda-y. Unfortunately, my knowledge is somewhat limited. I tried putting it on there because I wanted to put stuff on there, but I think I may not be qualified enough to do it if I have to carry this on myself.
Is this the one by a Western Dev, or am I thinking of something else? He just killed a squirrel.
Yeah, we're just killing the fuck out of squirrels and shit.
Oh, Goku was like known to do that. He fucking hated squirrel, hated nature. This is the war against nature arc. It's great.
What the fuck? Just go around killing wildlife to be a dick. What the hell?
Give me your energy. I
Man, the
don't...
Super Saiyans just fucking really job to fucking wolves and... Oh my god, what the... Oh my god. What the fuck?
You know, well, the best thing about this game, I have heard of this game. It's best known for being faithful to the show. I will remember when Goku was like being bitten by a stray dog. What the? Alright, let's jump ahead. Where's Frieza? Oh, cool, on Namek.
Any wildlife around here that you can kick the shit out of?
Just some Namekians.
I've heard good things about this.
This is not doing it any favors, though.
Yeah. I think it's more a childhood nostalgia thing than anything.
I'm sure it's fine. It's just I feel I'm not getting the full context for this.
It also looks kind of Zelda-esque.
Yeah.
Goku help. Oh no, he got teleported away.
No.
He got sent to another dimension.
How dare you kill my friend?
Oh, I like how we just randomly just came across the most famous Dragon Ball scene. This is the best way to explain.
I don't even look at you when I tell you that you're a piece of shit.
You filthy monkey! I'm not even gonna look at you. I know I'm gonna walk
good.
up.
That's what Super Saiyan means. My speed increases.
Yeah.
That's what happens every time one of my friends die, is that my speed increases.
You become louder.
Yes.
So, like, it's kind of cool that we don't even need to, like, watch the show. Like, you can just get the whole gist of it just by watching this gameplay footage.
Yep.
And a fast or two somehow.
I'm sure this is a perfectly fine game.
I remember the part where Goku went Super Saiyan and then ran away to grab all the loot on the stage.
Yeah, he's like picking herbs. Let me go collect these. Is this
the
Dragon Ball or Resident Evil?
That's why the battle took like 15 days or something, is because he spent the entire time grabbing herbs.
This planet will explode in 5 minutes, and then you just say, "Oh, I'm just gonna extend that." I'm sorry, I can't. Even if this was fine, no. I can't justifiably put it on this list. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is red. I'm sorry. I have heard of it, and I know people like it, but
this is an amazing experience.
Man, did they do like the other sagas?
Oh my god.
Alright, moving on. 2003 Nintendo Presents.
Yep, so this is when they finally decided to put Fire Emblem on, you know, on the Western Front. my brain's just exploding right now.
All quiet on the Western Front until the GBA.
Yeah, Super Smash Bros. Melee came out and it changed how the world viewed Fire Emblem forever.
Okay.
Yeah, there was I don't understand the full context of that, and I don't know if it's really publicly known, but it's like, you know, they included Fire Emblem characters in Melee, even though those games were not localized at all at the time.
Yeah.
And then that created sort of an interest for people in America, or in the West, I should say, to actually try Fire Emblem. And then this is the first time, I believe, that they actually translated one of the games. And
yep.
We got it.
Which they completely dropped the subtitle and just called it Fire Emblem for the West. So yeah, this is sort of the classic tactical RPG of the system. And also, it has gorgeous sprite animations for battle.
Yeah.
And this is one of the 2 games for this one. And, like, we don't, like, this is a tactics RPG, and it's sort of, you know, one of those genres. And I have not played this one. I played Fire Emblem games, and I enjoyed the ones I did play. I can't tell you about these specific ones, unfortunately.
Sure. I've kind of
also
touched these, but not much more than that.
Yeah.
There's kind of a weird parallel between this and Advance Wars, because both of these ended up intelligent system hands on the Game Boy Advance, both released on in the West for the first time. And both of them also in their first game tried to include the player as a character people talk to.
Oh, right, yeah.
And that was completely dropped for the second game in each.
Treasure time.
There's a lot of weird parallels.
Yeah.
And the games are similar anyway, in that they're square-based tactical games, except one's, you know, an
I
RPG.
always kind of view them as kind of sibling franchises, although it might be not really that accurate, but yeah, they're also like Japan only until the GBA. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot of experience with this, but it seems fine. It fulfills a quota for the 50.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a sequel we're going to be talking about, right?
Yeah, so this is another one of those.
God, there's so many of those.
We have a little too much of that, but
yeah, we do.
Sure. Just make it yellow.
I think in the future I might make it, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're figuring it out. This is a process. This isn't we're going to hit everything right away.
I'm thinking maybe I should just make this alphabetical, I don't know. But anyway.
We'll see.
Right, next one. I literally could not get a video for this, so I had to dredge up this video I uploaded 16 years ago.
Wow.
Holy shit.
I'm not even joking, I couldn't find a decent video, and I struggled to call this, quote, decent, but... this is Fire Pro. You know, it's not like talking about Mario Kart or something, but you know, we know what Fire Pro is. It's a legendary wrestling franchise, and this GBA version, this is Fire Pro Wrestling 2. I think it's just like the most minor differences between 1 and 2. You know, so I didn't even bother putting the first one in. It's just a decent version of Fire Pro Wrestling, complete with, as you can see, the full editor.
I wonder why I could tell this is a video you uploaded.
Yeah, right.
But no, this is, I believe you said you would miss out on talking about these games during the other 2 lists, I think. Or
the Super Nintendo, yeah, the SNES one, yeah.
So, but no, my only experience with Fire Pro is the more recent PC game, but, looking at this looks like Fire Pro on the GBA, and Fire Pro is really fucking cool.
Yeah, it is. This plays almost exactly the same as well. as far as I can
Was this
remember.
one of those series that sort of became handheld only at this time?
No, I think it was on the Dreamcast and then the PS2. No, I wouldn't say handheld exclusive. Maybe here in the West though. I forget about the release. It's a very kind of obtuse series to follow, but yeah, it's 5 Pro in the GBA. I honestly, I just kind of want to make this green. Might not like be the best of the best when it comes to the games in this list, but I think it's fulfilling a quota that we wouldn't have otherwise. Like, it's a wrestling game.
I think there's a really good, like, handheld is a really good place for anything that you would put a lot of time into because of stuff like customization. I think this is kind of the perfect sort of game for that sort of mentality of just like, I want something that I can, like, kill time with, you know? Like, this is something that you could just, you get a lot of time out of, basically. By a lot of replayability, I suppose.
I just realized where this video came from. I made these characters on my PSP while I was on holiday. And then I moved the save over to the PC to make this video. I just remember that.
Nice.
16 years ago. But yeah, no, that's what you were saying. That's exactly what I did here. It was on a PSP, not a GBA, but the concept's still the same.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I think that's worth greening, in my opinion. I think that's perfect.
Alright. Next game.
Alright, so this is kind of a thing where we might run into more times where we're suddenly jumping down in the middle of a franchise that started on the Game Boy. But this is...
Even earlier, actually,
Game
if you want to be really overthink it, the Game & Watch games.
Yeah. But this is, you know, the Game & Watch was the original portable games before, you know, ROM carts or such. And the Game & Watch Gallery series is, basically modernized versions, and you can also play the classic versions, and they're all kind of score attack games that get progressively harder as you go along, and they're really well designed for, like, you know, when you think like, you know, they have LCD games that, like, you think Tiger Electronics and the garbage they put out, but like when Nintendo was doing it, they knew what they were doing.
Yeah,
I don't know though. I mean, this looks like this might have a lot of competition with another wonderful GBA game, Earthworm Jim 2, and its wonderful puppy love segments.
Oh God!
I don't know.
I wonder where you were going with that. I see Mushroom Kingdom's dealing with an arsonist.
Kind of like, if you want to compare design, like, compare this to Puppy Love 2 and see why this doesn't suck.
Yeah.
Let's see another one. Still playing this one. Alright, thank you. Yeah, no, the Game & Watch games are pretty timeless.
Yeah. Although this one isn't the greatest, this particular one they included for some reason. But
I feel like the novelty of this was a bit more prevalent on like the original Game Boy and Game Boy Color. I feel like the GBA at this point, like, the GBA is not really using this. I don't know. It's just this felt like a bit more meaningful when it was 8-bit. When moving on to this hardware, it feels a little harder to justify its existence. I mean, it's fine, but
the one interesting thing they did is they used it to you can unlock a bunch of extra games that are just like they don't have modern versions, but like the gallery aspect, you could unlock a gallery of games, but some of them are quite a few of them are playable now, including the Zelda one, which is really complicated.
right.
But yeah, it's definitely unique, which is why I have put it on here.
Oh no, it definitely has a UFO 50 quality to it. Absolutely. Oh, the castle's still on fire. I was just kind of hoping to see if we had like because you have the classic versions, but
No,
no.
classic version.
Oh, we've got a fighting game here. Luigi
Yeah.
versus a Wiggler.
Wiggler's still fucking S tier. It's ridiculous.
Look at the rage with the tail. I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, it's fine.
Yeah, this is...
Well, that sounds like a yellow from you.
That's a
Get
prime
it.
yellow. Yeah.
Alright.
Alrighty.
Oh yeah. So, Kirby.
Everyone's favorite pink blob after Jigglypuff.
So yeah, this is, I believe, yeah, it's just this and Nightmare in Dreamland, which was a remake of the original, which came first.
Yeah.
But this one is a lot more unique. It's actually kind of, I hesitate to say Metroidvania because you don't really get that many power-ups, so to speak, but like, it is an exploratory giant maze thing.
It's, ironically, it feels a lot closer to, what do you call it? Great Cave Offensive as like a full title.
Yeah,
Interesting.
very much. And you can play this with 4 people if you have 3 games, and you can all be in different rooms.
Yeah.
Doing one playthrough, but like splitting up and being called together, like just wherever, which is kind of crazy. It's a Kirby game.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's Kirby. I played this. I can't remember too much about
It's
this.
it's an extra bit of uniqueness to it compared to other Kirby games as well.
I suppose the issue with the other one is that that's a port.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is why I assume you haven't included it.
Yeah, I did include it. We don't need two Kirby games, and definitely gonna pick the one that isn't a port.
Alright, yeah, that's fine. I do think the NES version of the original's got just a little bit more, not this one, the other game, has a little bit more charm to it. I don't know what it is, but... So I would probably lean towards this one. Did Kirby die?
No.
No, I don't know.
Angel, I don't know.
All right.
There's plot going on in Kirby games, and I've never noticed it. So,
Kirby die.
Yeah, he's dead. So, yeah,
I
think we should include this one.
Alright. That's fine.
I mean, Kirby is... I don't know. I don't know if you noticed that I'm a big fan of it, but,
Kirby is everyone's friend.
Yes. Unless he's in America, which he's angry. So, but, yeah.
I mean, especially since we don't have, like, Mario platformers gumming up the words.
Yeah. We don't have I don't know what our platformer quote actually looks like, but I don't think this one's going to get usurped by many, so...
Alright, we'll just green it. Alright. Alright, so now this.
Speaking of platformers, kind of.
Yeah. This is... Okay, I think you asked me about this. Oh, no, I think Yoshi did.
Right.
This is sort of a thing where, like, there are 4 of these, I believe, on the GBA. And I have played at least 3 of them. I feel like you can go on about, like, which one's the best one, but this is a thing where it's like, if you play the sequels, it's because you like the original, Like,
Alright, so you can judge them from this first one, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Like, it's not significant enough to where it's like, oh, well, if you play the first one, it's not representative of the other ones. It's just like, no, they're just more of the same, really. Like, they have the same character sprites and everything. So, it's just...
a little refinement, much like the regular Mega Man games themselves.
Yeah. So this is their GBA series, is Mega Man Zero, which is, I believe, in its own continuity.
It takes place after the regular games. Quite a few years later, Zero's been in stasis. Basically, that's the gimmick, the idea.
Right. and then yeah, some shenanigans. With
Cyber
X,
Elf?
but... Yep,
Oh,
Cyber
yeah,
Elves.
Cyber Elves.
That's like there's a whole thing with that where you like collect these elves and then feed them to empower them, and then you get like passive effects.
Okay.
You also get like different weapons that you can equip. Like you have the sword, the shield, a lot of stuff that you remember from that wonderful game SVC Chaos.
I thought you were gonna say MVC3, where he's just doing fucking loops.
No.
He's busted in any game he appears in.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, and you got some elemental stuff too, which is not that noteworthy, but it's there. I don't know. This is Mega Man. It's portable. It's really good.
Does it still do the level stage gimmick?
I
don't know. I don't know why. I don't know a damn thing about this.
No. It's more of just like a straightforward campaign. Like, I think there's a little bit of diversity in like level select, but there's a lot of it is just kind of level to level. There's a little bit of open-endedness, like you can go back and explore levels and do quests and stuff.
Okay.
So there's a little bit of not replayability, but they make use out of the levels that they have instead of making it like a really short campaign. So no, it's just they're really, really good games.
I'm trying to think why I've never played any of these. It might be because, well, for one thing, I don't particularly care about Mega Man, but I think the other thing is when I saw when it had so many sequels, like I don't probably like, oh, that's a big series or something. I probably wouldn't bother with the first one, which sounds like a strange reason, but
no, I can hear you.
like if you're going on like a bomb site. Elf.
I think you didn't really know.
Yeah, I might try this at some point, but I don't know what to rank it though, because I really don't know the thing.
Yeah, you're the one who's actually played these, so.
I mean, it's one, yeah, like if you want Mega Man, this is the thing where it's like if you want a Mega Man game on your collection, this is the game to do it with. Or this is basically what you're going to get. I don't know if there's really anything else that's actually a platformer that we'll be talking about. So,
yeah,
like
borderline green, definitely at least yellow. The only question is, did we talk? Like, my question to you is, which one should we put on here? I think, if I remember right.
Yeah, and I just said like this is the case where just like the original is good enough. Like, it's the sequels are just the same game but more. So. Like you can, I'm not going to be able to tell you which
doesn't really matter which one gets put on there,
yeah. It's like if you have a preference for one, you could substitute Mega Man 0, 1 for whichever one you like.
Whatever. All right.
They're good. So but yeah, I just yellow that or green that. I mean, you want to see what our list looks up first, probably.
I don't think we really don't have many greens so far. You might as well just green it, honestly.
Green it, yeah.
Sure, why not? Why not?
Alright. So this franchise again. What did we say last time? We liked this one, and we didn't like Super.
That's what you said,
you guys almost had me take out Super Metroid from the fucking SNES 50, which I was like, yeah, but then you ended up, we ended up having like very few cuts, so we didn't even circle back to that.
Yeah.
But all of the clunkiness is gone from the Game Boy ones, which is kind of funny because it has less buttons. But
I beat this.
They got their controls under control.
Yeah, I beat this for the very first time very recently, like within the last year, and I really enjoyed it. And I would say traditionally not a Metroid fan, but no, I enjoyed this game.
Yeah, this is the first Metroid game that I really played through. I ironically also played a lot of GBA on my PSP, and this is one I beat on my PSP, and man, it's really, really good.
It is, yeah. It's like if someone say like, "Oh, it's a bit more linear," but like I'm fine. I don't really mind being given a bit of direction by that AI character, honestly.
Yeah, it kind of did piss off like longtime fans a bit.
Meh.
But it's been grown to appreciate it. It's a very solid game, and this is like where Metroid enters its polished phase, and like all the Metroid games from here out, most of them anyway, except the really weird ones, are, you know, they're just very solid.
I say this
There's
relative to the list, but like the story's not bad either. Like for all things considered.
For a
Yeah.
Metroid game.
For a Metroid game.
Yeah, its atmosphere is the biggest thing about it.
I think I like the space. Well, I think I say that because I like the space station setting, and it felt a bit more like I had a better handle of what was going on rather than just random planets. You go into each part of the, but it helps with the immersion because like before, just like oh, it's another random planetary biome, whatever. Whereas this one, I found going through the space station here, the research station, just a bit more interesting. Yeah, I had to like in world kind of justify the different biomes and when you backtrack through them as well, like the place has been increasingly taken over by the X parasites.
Yeah,
so I actually really like the setting. I think that helped.
changes it.
I think that helped a lot
Yeah.
for me, who otherwise didn't particularly care about Metroid.
I don't know. I see that as a personal preference thing.
Sure.
I can see where you're coming from. I'm just saying that like I didn't think about that at all, but like, yeah, no, I can't fault your logic. Of course, there's this in Zero Mission, which is the tricky part again.
Although that is another port, or not port, remake.
Well, it is a port technically, but it is a full-on remake with a bunch of extra stuff. I would not call it a port.
I'm just spoiling the hell out of this game by skipping to the end. I really like this one.
We're gonna have to do that yellow thing again, but that's okay.
Next time, alphabetical.
I don't know, but we'll see.
I'm pretty sure that's good. We just green that. Yeah, just green it. It's fine.
I think it's just green.
Green.
If we really have...
Thank you. Yeah, no, we need to start doing that. This is gonna take too long.
Yeah.
Alright, next one. Do you like
So,
House of the Dead 2?
Okay.
It's
So... Yeah.
it's Pinball of the Dead. I mean, it's House of the Dead 2. You know how they did like a keyboard game?
God, that skill shot.
Yeah. Well, it'd be like a video mode, I guess.
Yeah. But I mean, it's clearly intended to replace the skill shot with a literal shot.
Yeah. Yeah, I like
Wow, this is silly looking.
it is. And you've got all those great voice samples, by the way. So even the voice acting from the original is intact. This is some high-level pinball play here, by the way. I like hitting the flippers for no reason.
Yeah. Classic low-level pinball play.
Yeah, it seems to be working though. It's a pinball game with a House of the Dead skin. I don't really have a ton to say about it. I believe you do get little interpretations of the bosses. There we go.
Hey.
Was that Judge?
I could see the boss, but
It's the Coliseum guy, right?
Yeah. Oh, which one's that? It's not Judgment, is it? It's been a while.
Chariot? I don't know.
No, Chariot is first boss of Born. Anyway.
Oh, right. That is
Been a
right,
while.
yeah.
Strength. I think that's Strength.
Makes sense. You
Look
look
at
strong.
Sure. Good enough. It's a pinball game. We've got another pinball game coming up as well.
Yellow.
Sure.
yeah. This seems... I don't know if we need 2 pinball games. We might. I don't know.
We've said that.
We'll see.
Where have I heard that before? Alright.
We'll see. Fun though. Let's see. Oh,
Okay,
this
so... What is this?
So this is one I think I put on because we put it in SNES 50, and now this is a sequel on the Game Boy Advance that does mostly the same thing.
This is a sequel. It's not a remake.
Yeah, it's a sequel.
Who's Becky?
Guest star, you know, Becky.
Oh, Becky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the,
I'm sure that's not a localized
game
name.
series.
I'm sure in the Japanese original she was called Becky.
Specialty exploding.
I will find my enemies and I will eradicate them.
Oh no.
Not the evil
Man, you-
ghost.
You
The
gotta
one
start
evil
just
ghost.
like jumping to gameplay immediately. I don't know why we keep watching like opening cutscenes
I
and
don't.
stuff.
Alright.
Um,
I like to see the title screen. I like to open
Fair
the
enough.
title screen, but yeah, I'll jump ahead a bit more.
so this is the thing, because this is a sequel to a game that none of us had anything to say about, other than it looked cool.
Yeah,
And
same thing here. Look, I decided to put games on here to talk about them.
no, I genuinely like looking at this. I'm like, this also looks cool. And I don't think there's going to be any real overlap, or there might not be. So, probably,
Yeah.
but
Do we have another one of these?
yeah. Not a over the top like shoot 'em ups like this.
No.
Yeah. And it's always been kind of unique that it's sort of a walk around shoot 'em up. The Alphazar's hat thing was definitely going for this vibe.
I like the Battle Monsters health system, health bars. That's very inspired. No, I think we should just yellow
Tengu,
that.
Pro Tengu.
It looks
we
a
just
bit more
yellow that in
dynamic
it.
than the Dragon Ball one.
Yeah,
A little bit.
absolutely.
This girl is not running around grabbing herbs, and I'm really confused. No, I think we should just yellow this and then probably just green it if it turns out we have a bunch of yellows.
Yeah.
This is looking like why not, but
I can't. Yeah,
Just
I
wait and
can't
see what we
justify
got.
Leah. Alright, next. I just like the title
Was
screen.
I
I'll
the
get
one
into
who put
gameplay.
it on here for some reason?
Yes, you
Why
put it
would
on
I
here.
Put it on here?
I don't know.
Why did I do that?
That was the time for you to explain yourself.
I don't know. I think I thought it was funny that this was ported to the Game Boy Advance.
It's certainly ambitious. I am familiar with the arcade game with the actual sniper scope that has a screen inside of it. But I don't know how that would translate to... Right, sorry, I'm doing it again. This is a hell of a thing to put on the GBA. I mean, even on consoles this would be kind of weird, but without the screen gimmick. But this is gameplay, right? Alright, thank you. This without the controller gimmick just...
Yeah, I don't know. I think I put it on there just because I wanted to acknowledge that it exists and laugh at it. Not laugh at it, so to speak, but
no, this is too ambitious for its own good.
It's just... It's a light gun game on... Yeah.
the too ambitious for its own good is very GBA specifically. Something you didn't get on the Game Boy Color.
Yeah.
Multi-platforming was becoming more of a thing in the console space, and so they had Game Boy Advance ports, so to speak, of them. Which a lot of times they just make something up, but sometimes they try. Early on, they tried to like do this.
Hmm.
I think too ambitious for its own good on the Game Boy was like that Alone in the Dark
Yeah.
port.
I don't know why I would want to play this on here. This is absolutely red.
Yep.
What a silly thing! I did not.
I
know
like.
about this.
It was amusing to see though.
Yeah.
It's partly why we're doing all this. Alright, so we're gonna do this discussion now. Let's just get into the gameplay. We know
Yep.
what this is. So, right. Love that speed shoes.
On the bonus
So
round.
we've got the 3D Sonic game versus the 2D Sonic game. No.
Oh,
Right, so going back to this, do we want for GBA 50, do we want a traditional, more standard Sonic game, or do we want the crazy off-the-walls speed emphasis one? Or both. Because that's not possible
Honestly,
either.
yeah, like, they're actually different enough that they actually could theoretically both be there. Because
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't had enough experience with anything beyond the first one, but they certainly look different.
There's a lot of yeah. Remind me again. Yeah, this was like a bunch of like speed moves that you could do to like really.
It's just fast, but not. I find I find the Sonic Rush series, they're kind of obnoxious, but this one I feel like is quite. This is the Sonic game where you are just holding right the whole time, and you use the R button to do these little tricks just to make sure you land or reach the platform you want to. And but yeah, like I said before, it's different enough from one to maybe justify them. Maybe I didn't really consider this, but I suppose they could just both go on here. I mean, it's still a Sonic platformer, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, we'll just put them both green unless we really get overloaded on platformers, and we have to make a bunch of cuts.
We're gonna get as many Sonic platformers on the Nintendo 50 as much as the Sega one. Alright, cool. I didn't really see that coming, but hey, why the hell not? Alright. Next one.
Oh.
This is Street Fighter.
So you remember when
Alpha
we
3.
put Street Fighter 2 on the Game Boy Advance?
Here's
How
Crawfish
about
Interactive.
Alpha 3?
This is insane, by the way. They put the entire console version of Alpha 3 on a GBA. Like, and not even just the arcade version, like, they included the console exclusive characters. I guess it's not really the point of this, but hey, if I can highlight the just the fact that this port exists, I'm happy enough just talking about it now.
Yeah, this is
like really impressive. Oh no, hang on, I'm wrong. They didn't include just the console characters. They actually include like 4 extras ported from CVS 2. So it's more. It's actually had more characters than any other version of Alpha 3.
right.
They did that. They put them forwards to the PSP version, but yeah, this is upper, and it's I mean, I can't just say, oh yeah, it's gonna get in because it's technically impressive. But hey, I just want to draw attention to it.
I'll say this much: I would much rather include this than the Street Fighter 2 one.
Yeah.
I think this one is a lot more of a novelty.
Yeah.
I mean, that roster size is pretty impressive, and just how much this has in it.
I mean, it's like there are cutbacks. Not everyone has an original voice, but Blanca does. Aiden sounds the same. Ridiculous, absolutely. Oh, and I think Capcom screwed this dev over afterwards, which is real nice.
Yikes.
Yeah, I think they got like they went bankrupt after this.
Wow. Well, now I have to give him the green because I feel bad. I kind of want to just include that. If at the very least I would make that one yellow and the other one red.
Yeah, definitely make this red. This is at least yellow, borderline green.
Yeah, sure.
Oh hey, it's this guy from Final Fight 1. There's that artwork again.
Yeah, there they are.
Alright. Alright, so you're technically impressive.
None up.
I'm trying to skip ahead.
Oh. Yeah.
I suppose we get more Sega games here than in Sega 50. I like with the GBA is kind of the great unifier with Nintendo and Sega.
Yeah.
Actually, I want to get that opening
Yeah,
shot.
so,
Look at this.
Yeah, just look at this.
I forgot forgot about this. Wow.
Wikipedia called this a platform game, which I guess it has platforms in it. The frame rate's not bad either, really.
Yeah?
What I like about the GBA is that it was basically, I know it's 32-bit, but it was kind of like this last 16-bit console, in a way. It's just kind of crazy to see what people could do with that. And I port, you know, PS2 GameCube era games to it. It's just very fascinating. That's what you don't get with modern handhelds, you know?
Yeah,
You don't get
so I actually
like
have
this
never
anymore.
played. I've never played Monkey Ball, just at all, but it certainly looks cool.
It looks cool, but ultimately, I'm not sure this is a version I'd recommend playing. It's way better than you think it might be, but it still seems paced really slow looking at this video.
I don't know. I guess the question is if we'd ever look to GameCube 50 or something weird like that.
I think even if you did it, I couldn't. The big thing is I couldn't tell, like, this is sort of a unique game. Like, I couldn't tell if all the levels were ported from the original games or not. Like, whether or not this has truly unique content in it. You know what I mean?
Oh, I do have a valid criticism of this. It doesn't have an analog stick.
That's what I was gonna say. This looks like, if I was to say anything, it's just like I would not want to play this game on a D-pad.
No, I
I
suppose
would
that's the
prefer to
big
have a
issue.
stick.
Absolutely.
It's like, this is nice for what it is, but I think this is not a superior way to play this game in any fashion. It's just,
Maybe I think
if you
this
want
might
it
be a.
portable, you got it.
I think this might be a yellow because it might fill a quota, but it's a little bit
I think it might be
wishy-washy.
a red, you know?
Yeah.
Alright, fine.
I mean, we can always reestablish it for numbers.
No,
that
it's
really
the law.
janky, but- Okay.
No,
it's
no
set in stone.
backsies.
We are not including
There's
this
no
game.
never. If it's red,
The worst
it's
game
red.
in the world. It's dead.
Do you forget about
Get out
what?
of my
Dead to
sight.
me.
Do you forget about what Bruce Wayne said? Red is red.
Jesus Christ.
No, but yeah, we can make that. We can change that if we feel like it. I'm kidding. Next one, some obscure shitty franchise. I don't know.
It's kind of crazy how good the fighting library is on the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. As the kind of obviously the biggest Tekken fan here, I can't say I've really played this much. This is like a weird mishmash between Tekken 3 and Tekken Tag.
Yeah, you have tag mode in here.
You do, yeah. Well, I meant more like aesthetically. It uses the
Oh,
it's like the roster from like 3, but it uses a lot of the character costumes and stage variants from Tag. But yes, it does actually have Tag though. I'm glad you reminded me. This is not great Tekken gameplay, but whatever. From what I understand, it's surprisingly legit. I kind of wish I'd played it more. You've got juggles and stuff. The interpretation of King's or Nina's chain throws is very interesting. You get these like little sprites of King grappling with a generic faceless dummy just as you input the next part of the commands.
yeah.
Oh, and you can sidestep.
Yeah, you have fucking sidestepping. This is 3D.
I mean, it's not, but it is. Yeah, there's depth
Yeah.
on these 2D sprites.
Wild.
This is from what I've always heard, that this is just a very solid game. And it isn't strictly a port of anything either.
No,
Love the you win. It's just a zoom in on the character stance.
you
They
win.
just, there he is. He's the winner.
Good morning, and it just zooms in on you. I'm of two minds of this. I mean, so like the Alpha 3 port is like legit. Granted, an Alpha 3 still has that lack of buttons problem. But it's like almost 1-to-1. In fact, it goes beyond the arcade version in terms of roster. This is respectable, but it is absolutely not on par with Tag 1. So, I don't know. I like that. I like before we got like some generic ass music, and then suddenly we're like got discernible.
Yeah, that's the arcade soundtrack.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. Okay.
But it didn't happen in the
I think
last
this game
stage.
is pretty legit. It looks like, but
I'm not against putting it in.
Yeah.
I just do. I just can't vouch for it that much. But
Right. Yeah. No, I don't know. That's one of those like probably
yeah,
I think it's
things. Just
yellow.
yellow it, and then we'll go back and probably put it in green.
Okay. So I'm assuming this is the same as the last one, but with reverts. I guess it's just better, but then you also get stuff like Underground, and I kind of wanted to stop at some point. The Portal 2 I can absolutely vouch for because I played it. This one I just know exists, and it's by the same dev.
there isn't any reason why it would be suddenly worse for no reason.
No. But then again, at that point, why am I not putting in Underground and stuff? But Underground might be like biting off more than it can chew. I don't know. This is the one with reverts. Let's get back to a more interesting level. I guess the bigger the games get, the more these GBA versions are going to feel weird. Because the 2 was a PS1 game, this is a PS2 game.
I think at the end of the day, it's admirable and it's way better. That it is a very legit experience, Tony Hawk experience, but it doesn't distinguish itself enough from its, full-fledged counterpart to be like.
This might be too much of a step down from the PS2 original.
Yeah.
Whereas the Portal 2 is just it's still close enough to the PS1 game where it's respectable. It's definitely more colourful.
What do you think, SK?
Oh, I
I'm
was
having
just
a hard
shocked.
time deciding.
I was just shocked that Tony Hawk's 3 was on the PS2. I had no idea, actually.
Yeah.
I know this series mostly is like the PS1 series up until Underground, but no, okay.
I know that
3. It was a
the GameCube version of this, so I knew it was,
I'd forgotten or something. I'm not gonna lie, these look like the same game, so my assumption is that the third game is just an improvement on the second, so if we're gonna include any, include this one.
Include the one with the revert, and pedestrians apparently, they weren't in the original.
Right.
We just say 3 then. And then again, I don't know why I'm not including Underground, but... or 4.
No experience with it?
No. Well, I have no experience with this one either, but I was like...
Yeah, but
the original...
Well, you kind of do
good.
by virtue of it being just... Yeah.
I'm just wondering, do we put this in at all or not? I mean, there's arguments either way.
Well, I think having a skateboarding game on the list is definitely unique. I'd like at least one of them.
This looks really fun. I think I'm down for including this.
Okay, yeah. Cause I couldn't quite figure out what I thought about it, so.
I guess I wasn't wrong before. I haven't actually played Tony Hawk's 3. But yeah, no, I haven't played this. I just know it exists, and it looks kind of incredible.
Huh.
Unfortunately, I can't. I'm not a car guy. I wouldn't say I dislike racing games, because, I like me some F-Zero and stuff, but this... It's like a rally sim, I don't know, but it looks neat. It looks technically impressive.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, but none of us really know how it plays.
I've heard it's pretty good, but again,
This
that's hearsay.
this is
It's
I
certainly
think
loud.
we're just too out of our depth to really put it on. I mean, it looks neat, but we're going to get quite a bit of
Yeah.
racing. We already have some racing games already, so.
We've got some other driving games, no less. We just say this is red then.
yeah.
Alright.
Neat though.
Maybe if we knew more about it, we'd be putting it on here, but unfortunately, we are human.
You unfortunately cannot play as Tony Hawk.
I can't grind on any rails with that car.
Maybe you can, I don't know, I haven't played it.
So, skip right to the second game because it's just
Yeah.
the better version of the game here.
Yeah.
Yep.
But this is the premier turn-based strategy game. It is very, very good.
I fucking love Advance Wars. It's really fun.
Yeah, it is. It's so fun that I, like, who typically would not... Oh, but no, when I was, like, a kid, like, I loved Advance Wars 1. Absolutely zero history with turn-based strategy games, but I couldn't stop playing that. And this is just better.
Yeah, it's it's a very Nintendo design where it appeals to people who aren't necessarily in the genre normally.
Yeah. I mean, it's different now as an
It's
adult,
a lot more
but still.
refined of a game, even though it's still kind of wonky balance. But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a lot more fun too. The addition of a superpower and a regular power is, adds a lot. Saving. And the core of the gameplay is just the different unit types that all have very defined strengths and weaknesses. So you need a diverse army. Because I remember, like, this was my factor, and then you got me to play, like, what was it, Warcraft 3 once, and I was trying to make a diverse army, and then you just ran over me with a bunch of the same unit, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
This game's like aged like wine as well. Just the pixel art is just timeless.
Yeah. Soundtrack's pretty good, from what I remember.
Yeah, I like the
soundtrack's
character
great.
themes. Yeah. I really like
Very
some of the black hole themes.
varied character themes. Everybody has their own theme.
Yeah.
I believe the premise here is like in the campaign, in the first game, you're kind of fighting each other country, and now it's more everyone's fighting Black Hole as an alliance, but that means you have more playable characters. So,
Yeah, you're not just stuck to the Orange Star crew.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the first game, your Black Hole was basically the hidden behind-the-scenes string puller.
Yeah, they didn't show up until the very end. I believe it was just the one CO, wasn't it?
Yeah, just the
Sturm.
final battle, with Sturm. With his Sniffit design.
Yeah.
It got completely redesigned into a Darth Vader design that you can take more seriously.
Oh, right.
A lot of more seriously in general with the designs too, probably because this is post 9/11.
Remember, we're still in the era where we're like massively renaming characters for localizations too, which is strange, but it's, I think we should just include this.
Yeah, that would be absolutely just insane not to.
Yeah, if you can play this against a friend, it's legit too as a strategy game. It's not like completely out of nonsense.
Well, I think it's because
Hell
it's
yeah.
A was literally the first one I put on my list. So, alright, so let's get some treasure on here.
Yeah, let's get some crazy treasure gameplay. So yeah, let's get to. Yeah, there's cutscenes kind of.
There's very story-heavy game, but it's definitely a good story. I wasn't really familiar with this character
It's
before.
an original story that is very much a celebration of the entire series, as well as some of the characters, the mangaka's other work.
Yeah. Like, I noted this character previously, at least I don't think I had. But yeah, I really enjoyed the story. I did not expect that. And it's like, it's time
As far as the
travel?
gameplay goes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. So you go through the game, and like things are kind of getting bad, and by the end of the game, things got really bad, and it's kind of like a Pyrrhic victory, and then you meet the Phoenix from one of the other titles, and she makes you unstuck in time. So you can just start replaying levels and using your future knowledge to influence the events and like try to make the world not go to shit.
It's really cool, and just the way you react to each level. It's like, oh yeah, I remember this. Like, this time I'm going to do this differently. And there's like, I think there's this character here. Alright, spoilers for this game, I guess. It's like, he has a secret identity, and Astro meets him in the second loop, and he's just like, yeah, I know who you are, stop it. I'm like, what? Like, well, how do you know that? And a lot of like Astro just kind of like, just cut to the chase. I already know what's happening here.
Yeah, it's very smart too, because it avoids, you know, cut to the chase, because you've seen this during the first loop.
A lot of these like cameos from his other works as well, like, don't really mean much to me, but you know, whatever. You know, like there's
but they're well
Don
integrated.
Dracula
Just,
there.
yeah,
It doesn't matter if
you
you.
just see, like weird design, you know.
Yeah, like Don Dracula there. I think that's all he does. But it's like, hey, if you're a fan. Oh, there's the White Lion. I know the White Lion.
So I imagine there's gameplay in this game as well.
It's a lot of story. I am actually trying to.
Yeah, it's a very treasure of, like, the gameplay I'm not as familiar with, but from what I heard, it's a very good game.
It is. I've beaten it. Yeah.
That treasure, it's a very treasure beat 'em up where they're in their home element. So they put a lot of interesting things in it.
Can I just point out, I did get to gameplay, and then it went to cutscene. That's not my fault.
No, I'm noticing that. I want to know more about how it plays because I don't know anything about it.
I'm trying to find the opening stage. The opening stage is very treasure. Should have put this. Oh yeah, and in case it wasn't already known, like Mega Man is pretty much a rip-off of Astro Boy.
Right.
I mean, this was made about shortly after early Disney.
Yeah.
And it's sort of the foundational, you know, anime.
I know Tessa was like a massive Donald Duck fan. There's a great piece of. He's like a big fan of like the Donald Duck comics. So in a weird way, Donald Duck actually had a big influence over what we know as anime.
Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely tried to replicate the Disney style for Astro Boy, and then the game. Yeah, so it's a beat 'em up where as you play through the game, you unlock, when you meet someone, you add them to your friendship list, and they unlock more points to put in your abilities.
Yeah. Gunstars.
You have a bunch of supers, and like, you know, you can shoot a laser beam.
And you can power these up individually.
I feel like we can just include this. It seems like it seems good.
Yeah.
I've heard only good things about it, so yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, just moving on.
Okay, this is where I've been putting things in somewhat speculatively. And yeah, so this is a cartridge that has a solar sensor that you put it in the sun, and the game detects that you're in the sun, and it charges up your sun powers because you're fighting vampires.
Whoa! What time is it?
Okay.
It's like me setting my clock in the morning.
Yeah, because you're fighting vampires, and, like, you know, you're a vampire slayer. Also, made by Kojima.
Yeah,
so
that's all I know it for. Okay, there's a title card. Let's get to the game.
Unfortunately, I could not tell you a whole lot about it. You sort of got a dungeon crawler thing, and the entire sun gimmick with a sun like sensor on the cartridge is just like peak uniqueness.
The funny thing is, this is actually.
But unfortunately, I don't know enough about how it actually plays and what to do with it that I can. I wanted to mention it, but.
I'm a huge fan of the fact that you're like, oh, Kojima made this, and here's a Metal Gear Solid segment where you're hiding from enemies, and that's amazing.
Yep.
A fun fact about this game is it actually emulates pretty well on a smartphone because it just uses the light sensor on your phone, you know, to control the screen's brightness. So it just incorporates that.
Incredible.
I know of this game. I don't know much else. Otenko. Right. So it's a stealth game? You got like a trank gun, it looks like? Or
yeah.
what's killing them?
Okay. definitely more like you can you could definitely see the
Metal Slug.
Fucking Metal Gear Solid influences. It's also got RPG elements too. And
Okay.
It looks cool.
Disarm trap, defeat Kraken.
This is another one where it looks fine, but I don't know if just it looks fine is enough to really justify putting it in.
Yeah, if it didn't have a fucking solar sensor built into the cart, I wouldn't have done it, but I had to, like, share this.
Acknowledge the fact that they did that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. It looks very, let's put it in yellow, I guess. Yellow like the sun.
Sure.
The sun is yellow, right?
Yes.
Why don't you have a look and see?
It's not red or green, so it must be yellow.
Going on
okay,
to things that you two know a lot about.
Is this the one with the guy falls in the pit at the start, and then He's like I have no time for children, and then Soma goes down a pit, and he's like, oh no. Raven.
I don't know what you were referencing actually.
I'm referencing Circle the Moon, where he just gets fucking
Oh,
Dracula
right,
like
yeah.
knocks him into a pit. Well, have you not played Circle the Moon recently enough to get my reference?
No.
I don't even know what to say here. This is one of my favorite games of all time. This is my favorite Castlevania ever. Like, I would argue this is better than Symphony. Just because it's more balanced. I feel like
Yeah.
I love Symphony. It's really cool and it's got like a lot going on, but it's also just way too. Like, you get all these cool boss designs and you just take them out almost instantly, and you don't even have to break the game to do it. Really, this one just feels a lot like we figured this out now.
Symphony is it's the starting block for the rest of the Metroidvania style Castlevania games. It is a great novelty and a spectacle, but it is not an amazing playing game when compared to the more refined versions of it, like Aria.
Yeah, well, I mean the soul system, like in Symphony, you were still using the weird sub-weapons, and then to use an item, you had to, like, if you eat food, you had to put it on the ground and then walk into it, which is insane. Whereas this is just like, no, we get it now. We figured it out.
The spiritual sequel series, Bloodstained, just uses this system because it's that good.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Is this the, like, modified version with the different colors, or is this how it originally looked?
I think this is how it always looked.
Looks fine, to be honest.
Let's get to more interesting.
Doesn't suffer too much from the colors.
Yeah, and it would look basically normal if you're looking at it on an actual Game Boy.
Oh, the Minotaur Soul.
Yeah.
But,
So yeah.
yeah, like
Different weapons.
I'm familiar with the tracks, and I've never even played this game, so like, it's just been around so much, such a touchstone.
Yeah, Osmos is. I think I would recommend this to literally anyone, honestly.
Yeah. I also recommend standing around and waiting for your MP to regen.
Yeah. And that makes me look bad because I'm just like waiting for them to move, and then I don't know.
Were they there for like an hour? Anyway.
Well, yeah, that's the most fun part of this. So this is like in UFO 50, it's like pilot quest because you just stand around a bunch. Wait for your MP to regenerate before you can do anything else. And I want to say as well, I also, as I've said in the past, I think this is better than Dawn of Sorrow. Like,
Yeah.
I'll probably be too harsh on.
Popular opinion.
I don't know. There are some people who just think Dawn is better. I've come across, but I've given my reasons why. I don't hate Dawn, but I do think it's a downgrade from this. I mean, it's got some quality of life features that are better, like an actual use for duplicate souls and stuff. But you know, The story's not as good, and I hate the art style. Yeah, anyway, what's there to say? This is green. Of course it's fucking green. It's Aria of Sorrow.
If you didn't notice, I made it green as soon as we brought
No,
them
I
up.
saw that, but I didn't want to just immediately move on.
No, I don't know, but, like, it's going in. It's...
Yeah.
I mean, it's us. We're not going to not put it in there, so...
Yeah.
Oh god,
More
another one of
beat-em-ups.
these games.
Another beat 'em up. Oh, title screen.
So I don't know a lot about this one in specific, but whenever we did our beat 'em up thing, ARPA immediately told me about this game and really sold me on it. It sounds like it's really damn good.
Yeah, I've heard as much.
This is a port of Double Dragon, the actual arcade game, and not the NES game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh right, yeah, because the NES games are like their own thing essentially. I forget that.
Yeah.
Because yeah, most people are probably familiar with the NES ones, but no, this one is it's the original arcade game, but with a lot more polish. Because the original arcade game is very
junky.
silly, but it's it shows its age, whereas this one does a lot to improve on it. It sounds like it has a bunch of different. Well, I mean, no, Double Dragon always had like a bunch of moves, surprisingly, but this one does even more with it. Yeah, like that.
Just stomping on a guy.
So.
I think
beat
one
'em
of the
ups.
funniest things I learned about this is it has a mode where you play 2-player as 1 player and like hit select a tag. Like you're playing a 2-player game with both characters on the screen, and you can only control one at a time.
It's Donkey Kong Country style.
No. It's like you're playing a 2-player game with 2 controllers where you can only use 1 controller at a time, and the other
Yeah,
one
it's just-
it's there.
Is that what I'm looking at here?
Yeah.
Huh.
And the ideal is you have to juggle,
Ooh. Cutscenes.
both characters.
Boom, boom.
All right.
Cutscenes are kind of neat. Oh, I guess they lost the whole one take thing, I suppose.
Yeah.
But whatever.
But
It's a small thing.
it's a.
I guess it's kind of, well, I mean, you can have more than one beat 'em up, but I guess the comparison with this and Final Fight, this seems like more of an upgrade than the Final Fight port did. I should say the Final Fight 1 also had some weird Super Nintendo censorship with like Poison and various other characters.
Oh, huh.
I would say this is probably better than the Final Fight port though, and I have a lot of nostalgia for that.
I heard a lot of good stuff about it, so
Should we just green
I'm
it?
definitely down to recommend
There's
this.
that token
Yeah.
beat 'em up. Alright.
Alright. So this is where you carry me, because I know there are like 2 or 3 games here. I don't know the differences between them, but I know they're F-Zero games.
There's 3 F-Zero games on the GBA. I have a lot of experience with the first one, Maximum Velocity. I have not included Maximum Velocity on here, because although it is the one I'm most nostalgic for, it objectively is the worst. It has the least content in it. This has a story mode based on the F-Zero anime that apparently exists.
Oh yeah, this one is the anime one, yeah.
Yeah, this is the anime one. This was translated, so...
The one thing I did hear when looking things up is like one of the games, I think the first one was more based on F-Zero, the SNES games, while these ones
Felt
are
like
a bit
it.
more based on F-Zero GX.
It is, yeah, because in this one, So in Maximum Velocity, you get 3 boosts, whereas in this one, it's like GX in that after the first lap, you can spend basically life for boost, but obviously that's risky, as he did just there. So it's you're right. Maximum Velocity feels like a sequel to the Super Nintendo game, whereas this feels like a sequel to the GameCube game. And this, weird story mode that ties in with the anime. Maximum Velocity doesn't even have Captain Falcon in it. It's like they do the kind of Street Fighter 3 thing, and it's just a bunch of newcomers they never see. I don't think it's ever been seen since. Which, as someone with a lot of nostalgia for Maximum Velocity, I find it's a shame, but people don't really...
Maybe they take their timeline seriously, unlike other things, because I believe it's set in the future.
I'd like Hot Violet to come back, I don't know. I don't even think we saw the drivers, but... A lot of cutscene. That's a theme today, isn't it?
Well, I mean, it was based on an anime, very explicitly, so...
It does have Grand Prix and everything. It does have what you'd expect. So, as much as I like Maximum Velocity, this just has a lot more content. I'd be stupid not to put this in over it. The other F-Zero game is Japan only, and is, as far as I can tell, it's mostly just this, but with a track editor. And that's kind of it.
Same.
So I'm kind of thinking this one would probably just be green, just because it's the one translated into English with a full story mode, and then we just skip the other one.
Yeah, I think we tend to stay away from JP only ones unless they're notable. Like if there's a non-JP only equivalent, we might as well stick with those.
I don't think JP only matters. It's just if we have experience with it. I mean, we included a SNES game that none of us had any idea what to say about other than it looked neat. So let's.
We'll make this one green though, because it has like big story mode.
No.
All right, next one.
So yeah, speaking of tactical things, this is Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. I think it was kind of. I don't know what the people think now about it nowadays. It was a bit divisive back then, but this is one where you full on customize all your characters' jobs, get into a bunch of different fights, full RPG storyline thing. One of the main gimmicks is the judge system, where the vast majority of fights are done in front of this judge who has things that he will like ban, just random ass things, like certain types of magic or certain actions.
Yeah, I guess it's this versus Fire Emblem, really. I suppose it's look pretty similar.
There might be room for two
both. Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah. No,
I mean, on top of Advance Wars, which we also have.
Advance Wars is like that's like war. That's like strategy. It's not really an RPG.
It's a strategy rather than an RPG. A strategy RPG is, it's a hybrid between two classes, where strategy is its own thing without the hybrid part. We'll see.
I'm just saying I don't want to include this Fire Emblem and Advance Wars all together unless that's just my opinion on it.
Okay. Well, then we'll put it in yellow, and we'll see how many yellows we need, and we'll just keep in mind that we'll keep this, because I think Fire Emblem is just on the basis of its fucking sprite animation alone, and its legacy. I think Fire Emblem is a better fit than this one if we have to choose between the two.
Was this had tactics on the PS1, right? Is that where it started?
Yes, this is significantly different, which is why I said it was kind of divisive.
Alright. Back to this. Well, that looks very familiar.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, you start off, the party you play as in the second game is the party you were chasing in the first game, who's kind of gang pressed by the villains.
Right.
And so you start off in the last dungeon of the previous game. So yeah, this is literally the same dungeon.
Alright.
Oh yeah, window color changing, let's do it!
I always like that.
But yeah, I don't have too much to add that I didn't add the first time.
God, it feels like we looked at that one a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is...
yeah.
It's just so hard to say what to do with this, because like I said, it's like Sonic and Knuckles 3, but like nobody like puts it in the same slot like you would. Although we could do that if we wanted to.
I feel like we could just do what we did with Mega Man Zero and include the original and be like, well, if you like the original, then play the sequel.
Yeah.
If you have a preference, then you can substitute the original with the sequel. It's
yeah.
just...
Yeah.
Whatever you
that's
want.
a way to handle it. That's a
Alright, fine.
great way to handle it, so yeah.
I'm gonna green Golden Sun.
Yeah, because the only reason we yellowed it is because of this confusion with this.
Alright. Right, we'll move on. This is Lode Runner.
Oh. Yeah, I'm very familiar with Lode Runner. Oh yeah, it's a Japanese only one too, because...
It is.
So, there's a lot of Japanese only, like, versions of Lode Runner, which Lode Runner was an originally American thing. The main thing is that, like, Lode Runner was the first third-party game for the Famicom, and the Famicom was sort of in a boom town at that time. So Lode Runner became even bigger in Japan than it was in America, and it was a pretty big hit at the time in America.
Nice.
So...
Also, Jetpack for the DOS is actually, like, a pastiche of this, isn't it?
Sort of. It takes some ideas, yeah.
Yeah.
It's very similar, but it ends up playing quite differently. But it definitely is inspired by.
It's just weird seeing a game that you're familiar with and realizing, oh, this was actually like heavily inspired by something else.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah. So the gimmick is in Lode Runner you can dig the square down and to the left and down and to the right. But you can't dig like sideways or up, and so like that was the puzzle element right there, trying to get those gems without being trapped.
Huh. Yeah, I've played this
briefly.
briefly.
Other puzzle element, which was probably more prominent in the original game because it had more screen size, is just full screen kiting of enemies.
I like
yeah,
this jobber. This guy's just helping you out. God, that was really well designed.
Looks like a solid version, a solid but unremarkable entry in the series.
Yeah, so depends how we feel about that. It definitely feels like UFO 50 niche.
Yeah.
If there are more unique puzzle games, I would put them in over this. But I don't think I think we have room for more than one puzzle game, so, you know.
Probably green.
Crowded on, yeah.
Alright.
If we get crowded on puzzle games, then
we'll
but
think about that.
I don't think we will be, so we'll see.
Alright. Next one.
Oh yeah. So, this is another one where I think we almost just have... there's very little to say because it's just so well known and obvious. It's like,
I mean, I can't say I know too much about this, but
it's I'm a little surprised by that because it is pretty big. It's one of those things that I've heard. I know so many people love this game.
Right. Okay.
And I know so many people played it back in the day. I guess it's just.
Yeah.
Speaks of Mario Nintendo fans, I know, but
yeah.
Yeah. I don't really know any Nintendo fans. I'm not gonna lie. Now you've said that out loud. That's cool. I like the jumping.
Yeah, Mario RPG by Alpha Dreams, which is a lot of X-Square employees that did like Mario RPG.
Okay.
And this one kind of takes its own spin on it, just the way Paper Mario took its own spin on it as well.
I definitely recognize this music.
This one's biggest gimmick is that every attack is dodgeable, like completely. And like some of the attacks are a lot more like, you know, intricate than others. Like different ways they can attack you. Different gimmicks for how you dodge an attack.
Much like the other ones, it has like timed hits, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of action going on in these turn-based fights, and it actually adds other gimmicks too, where like you get different, like you get hammers, and they actually have like different defensive actions. Like you can defend with the hammer rather than jump over stuff.
Yeah, you automatically pick a thing depending on what they're attacking you, and with hammers you kind of it's a little more tricky. And then you get the elemental hand power-ups.
It's interesting. It's a they play around with the formula a whole lot. It isn't just an RPG. And it's very silly. I don't know how we can not recommend this one, you know?
I'll take your word for it. Looks neat.
Yeah.
Just
Super solid.
Yeah.
Alright.
Not gonna lie, at the rate we're going, it kind of looks like we're gonna not be knocking out a lot of games from yellow.
Yeah, there's a lot of yellow.
I've still got a ways to go. We'll see.
Right. So this is another one that's like very technically impressive, but I can't say I've played a lot.
I need to go back 3 years. Back to the
Oh, we're talking to me.
Yep.
Hello.
I was still on the force back then. NYPD, Manhattan, Midtown North Precinct, Hell's Kitchen. So when are you coming to work for me?
Oh man, look out, it's Gordon Ramsay.
Undercover in some hellhole. Sorry, Alex. Showing the
Talk to Duke Nukem.
a magic
Very, very technically impressive.
I
So,
believe Max Payne was indeed one of the last projects of 3D realms.
Call 911. Yes, someone's broken into my house. They're still here.
Let's get some gameplay. It's very impressive as it was. So for a start, full voice acting, but no, they ported Max Payne to the GBA, and not some like weird alternate version. No, they did the whole game in this Tony Hawk style format, and I've heard it's really good.
Isn't Max Payne a first-person shooter?
Yeah, third person. It's like over the
Third
shoulder.
person.
Certainly not isometric, but
Yeah.
Huh.
including the bullet time.
Holy shit. What the fuck?
Also, realizing Broken Sword, really probably had no excuse for not putting in full voice acting. I'm kidding, because there's a lot more dialogue, but damn. Yeah, people who play this say it's really good.
Okay.
Let's skip it a bit.
Weird alternate version of Max Payne.
Yeah. But from what I understand, it is how the original game played out.
I actually don't know a lot about Max Payne.
I don't know a ton, admittedly.
Neither do I.
Like, film noir kind of is... Life got all fucked up, but that's about it, but...
What a silly thing that this exists, and I kind of love it.
This is, yeah, there's a lot of these ports. Much more than the Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color ever had.
rounds with a mutant alligator. And then he started this spooky monkey talk.
No, it's not just the intro, like, it's not just the opening cutscene, it's the whole game they didn't voice acting.
What the fuck?
I don't know, some guy from Twisted Metal Black, I don't know. Oh no, he's playing the GBA port of Doom.
I've seen a censored world.
I feel like just greening this just because... Come on.
You're not gonna get anything like it. I tell you what.
Yeah, I would say green this.
Yeah,
I mean,
part
I
of me is like, I'm not sure I would play this over Max Payne, but at the same time, it's just so crazy.
It's got that Tony Hawk thing going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
This grenade will do for Max Payne. Oh my god, I just
How many
got the ton in
GBA games have like bullet time gun fu, you know? Alright.
I'm just throwing that in there. That's hilarious.
Alright.
Let's go for it.
Oh boy. So I get to talk about Mega Man Battle Network 3. This is unlike the Mega Man Zero. I actually can recommend certain ones over others.
Okay. Because there's like 12 of them, and one of the 12 has like 3 versions. According to Wikipedia.
So
there's like
on the GBA there's 3, and I don't think they did Pokemon versions until later on.
There's like 6.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, there's 6 I think.
Yeah, later on they do Pokemon versions. Yeah.
And starting with 3, they started doing versions, which Bob pointed out to me when he was asking me. He's like, "Why is one of these localized? Or why was it made like a year after the other?" And I was like, "I don't fucking know. I have no idea. Why was like they released Red and Blue at the same time? I'm assuming. I don't know why the fuck this one was a year later, but whatever." I don't even know what those differences are, to be honest. My familiarity is mostly with 2, but I have played 1 through 5, I believe.
1 is very growing pains.
Yeah. 1 is rocky, 2 is good, 3 is better, and 4 is where things start getting a little haywire.
I thought you meant like Rocky is in the movie. It's like a rags to riches story. Like what?
Yeah. I mean, you could say the series is kind of like that, I guess. Yeah, and then he fights Mr. T, and things get a little messed up. Land gets fucking killed in the ring. Anyway, Mega Man Battle Network is a action RPG series where you make like it's kind of like a deck builder in a way.
Yeah, it's not a deck builder, card builder thing. They're called chips, but they were definitely inspired by the card.
I see we were in the kangaroo camel dimension.
Yeah, this.
Oh yeah, we're in the zoo. Welcome to cyberspace. It's a very 90s cyberspace, but it's also the Internet of Things.
All right.
Yeah, everything has like a program that you can log into, and it's all like full of viruses and computer programs that talk to you.
All right.
It's very silly, but the plot is kind of funny, but no, like the game it's good. It's you make these decks and you actually get like synergy with your chips based on like the letter that they use. You can use like combo chips to make like really powerful weapons. And
the chips have a letter, and when you get a hand of chips, you can only equip chips that all are the same chip or all have the same letter. The others you have to wait for the next round.
So yeah, you can. Yeah, it's essentially it's a deck builder.
Okay. Mr. T.
And
Hammer T.
Yeah, and then once you get the attacks, you choose when to use them, while you're moving around and shooting as well with your buster.
You also get like upgrades to Mega Man, like he has different charge shots and different like pass abilities. Oh yeah, then there's like I forget what they call it, but you have like other things that are you can.
Style?
What's that?
Styles?
I forget, but it's like the thing where you put all like the Tetris pieces into a thing, and then if they all line up, then you get a bunch of different pass abilities based on what you put in. It's I don't know, it's complicated, but in a really good way. I recommend it.
Alright, sure.
It's very fun.
Alright, do you want to just screen that then? It doesn't look like it overlaps with anything.
So,
it's very unique for sure.
Alright.
So there you go.
Alright, next one. I think this is a me thing. So, this is
heard of this.
Ninja 5.0. In Europe, this is called Ninja Cop, which is an awesome name.
In Europe, it was called Hero Cop.
Hero Cop, yeah, I know, right? They've been fucked up there, didn't they?
At least this time I can understand why they changed it, because maybe Europe isn't familiar with the show Hawaii 5.0.
That's I know of it, but yeah, that is pretty obscure. Yeah, I'm pretty certain that's why they changed it, and also Ninja Cops. Like that's a hell of a name. Just let this play out. So it's a Konami game, and it's another one where the gameplay will kind of speak for itself. You get these it's kind of arcadey. You get a set of levels. It's kind of like 3 worlds of increasing difficulty, and then you unlock the 4th one. And you're a cop. You're a ninja that has to deal with like bank robbers and other criminals and terrorists, which is a great idea. But the big gimmick is that you have this grapple.
Very Shinobi feel, but like
very Shinobi, and it's really and it's really fun to control. And you can you get a projectile that levels up 3 times. That's level 3 that just penetrates all enemies. You're gonna save these hostages. You can kind of grapple onto his edges. It's just there's also a melee attack, which unlike Shinobi doesn't come out automatically. I think it's on the right shoulder button. It's just a really solid action game. I can't really describe it more than that. It's just tightly designed, very fun. It's not going to blow your mind or anything. It's not some kind of like hidden masterpiece, but I've always enjoyed it.
It looks really neat.
Yeah, that's all I can describe it as. It's neat.
I've heard of it before. It looks pretty solid. I imagine this. Yeah, especially at the rate we were going earlier, I'd just put this in green because this. You spoke very highly of it, and you've played it yourself, and.
This is like one of my whenever I do GBA emulations, it's kind of my go-to games. Quite challenging as well, but not obnoxious. Like this first level's pretty liberal, but it gets harder. Alright.
Oh, this looks
not
cool.
much else to say.
Yeah, that's in.
Alright, this one. I don't know.
I think, oh boy.
Yeah.
So, I owned this one.
That's
I'm
a
surprised
die.
we haven't done like, some sort of.
We haven't done a watch of it because like the story mode is like 8 hours or something.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculously long. I feel like I appreciate this game a little more nowadays because I haven't played it in a while. But
because you haven't had to enjoy the grinding recently, that's why.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it. I will defend this game, but like, this is like, I should say, this is like a well, it's a fighting game. I think on Wikipedia it said something else. But I'm calling this a fighting game. It's
like arena fighter.
Arena
it's
fighter.
Stone-esque.
Yeah, and everyone has life, and you have to choose between what you get the
shot,
special
trap,
attack
and power.
And then one will like one shock.
You have what is it? You choose which one you have on the ground, which you have the air, and which one you're immune to. And so it's like this rock paper scissors system where you have special moves that once you build up your meter, it instantly will kill your opponent. But if they're immune to it, then it just fills their meter up instantly.
Yeah,
and
it's not the most balanced.
Largely the campaign it's a long story, which is mostly pretty amusing because it has every character has their own story mode, which is like a linear story where they're befriending this Emerald character. But the campaign is bloated as fuck because everything takes way too fucking long.
Yeah.
Every AI fight is just every time you kill an enemy with a special, they come back immune to that special. They have like 10 lives or something every time.
The fights usually have too many stocks as well.
Yeah, it goes on way too long. It's a really neat game, and I kind of want to like it, but if you go by its campaign, it's fucking tedious.
It's a shame though, because this is very faint praise. This isn't much of a statement, but I think this is my favorite story in a Sonic game, and I know that's kind of a weird thing to say. But I like the character of Emerald, because the thing is, like, the best part of this game is also its worst thing, in that you're leveling up Emerald, and he has sprites of every single other character in the game. So it has like a Mokujin thing going on, but it's all sprites. If you look at sprite whips, it's massive for this one character.
It's like their stances and walk animations and everything.
Yeah, not just the attacks. The problem is, so you can make a character and customize them. That's really cool and fun. The problem is you unlock it all is like a point system, and you unlock the experience points at like an absolutely glacial pace. So you just have to like grind like hell to really make Emerald like kind of fun to get the best moves. And it's not gonna be. It's not even gonna be balanced because you know it's just making the camera more powerful. There's no balance to it.
Yeah.
It's a shame. It's just,
There's also like you have to unlock the moves by like fighting the characters, and you just get those at random. And there's like rarities.
There's one.
So
yeah.
there's like you have to actually get the ones you're looking for, just at complete random.
The worst of RPG grinding.
Yeah,
It's a shame. It's such a shame.
It's a really great idea that is wasted on a way too long, tedious game.
This
really nice
long
fight,
play
too.
is 5 hours and 55 minutes long. That is why we've never done a watch of this game, even though I kind of like the story.
Yeah,
It's such a shame. Yeah, and each character has their own. Oh, this is a Rouge-like.
A Rouge-like, yes. Oh, and the fucking these guys that explode on death.
Yeah.
Fucking Gamma.
So
yeah,
I really want to like it. Definitely would pass for a novelty factor, but unfortunately, it's just horribly unbalanced and tedious.
Yeah, this is very much a
I want to like it, but nah.
It needs a
we put
fan
this in here.
balance patch or something.
Yeah, we want to put it in here to talk about it, but not because we want to include it. And
It's a shame.
I think that's. Oh, also this is the
The
game I was
bar is
referencing.
happy.
This is the game I was referencing that Tails' abilities, or one of them is he summons the little mice from ChuChu Rocket.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I remember this game. I remember I got a ROM of this game before the game was actually released. They got the Japanese version got leaked online, and the weird thing is it actually had like a full English translation in the Japanese version. And I remember playing that one because Rouge calls Eggman a bastard, so that was pretty good. But I remember that's how I first played it, and it was like kind of playable, but the translation was a little bit odd. But yeah, unfortunately that's a red, but yeah, we'll acknowledge it.
Yeah. Speaking of Sonic.
A lot of Sonic.
Speaking of Pinball.
Yeah, surprisingly, it's a combination of two things I like, but I don't really feel too strongly about this game. It's fine. It's probably better produced than that House of the Dead one, which is also by Sega. But then, like, so this isn't like Sonic. I remember when I first played this, I think it was a ROM. I was just disappointed because I was expecting like Sonic Spinball 2, and it's not. It was like, oh, this is boring normal pinball. Pinball's lame, well, as I was at that age. But yeah, what you see is what you get. I think it has a Knights table as well. Oh, did that well, didn't I?
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. It's a pretty conventional, well-produced virtual pinball game. I don't have anything particularly strong to play. I've not played this for extended sessions.
We have one already, and I know I put one on there later. Oh shit!
I don't know.
It looks pretty. Eh.
I mean, we're not obliged to put a pinball game on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel too strongly about this. I'm not gonna lie. Might just read that, I suppose.
Yeah, if we do that, then we probably would read the House of the Dead pinball as well. If we didn't.
I feel that one's maybe got a bit more novelty to it, just on how goofy it is, but
We'll see where we're at.
yeah, but
Okay.
alright. Next one, another puzzle game.
Literal Sonic Advance music. That's weird.
And
Man, I can't believe you put another Street Fighter game in the. Wait, hold on.
yeah, the second one, no less.
All right, this is one of them versus puzzle
It's
games.
the second one in the series of one.
Yeah.
Indeed.
This is it's a GBA port of a CPS2 game. Let's just erase this. Oh, I don't know what I was talking about. I don't know what street puzzle
Street
is.
puzzle. Huh.
Let's get to gameplay, please. I feel like this is one that's, I would argue, is pretty well known.
Yeah.
Although,
Oh
damn,
no,
the resolution.
those numbers are real hard to read.
Yeah, Shunko just kicked your ass. This video.
Is
Okay, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so it's Puzzle Fighter. You connect gems to power gems. 4 together makes a big power gem. It does more damage, and you get little chibi versions.
areas, yeah.
I will say, I don't know how good this video is, but based on my experience of the GBA port, the sprites aren't scaled particularly well. They are very much squashed down, they lose a lot of detail. But the gameplay's intact, although I'd also imagine it's pretty small.
Yeah, the presentation doesn't look great.
No, it's gonna rely mostly on the strength of his core gameplay. So I don't know how we feel about this. I'm not particularly I don't feel particularly strong about this. It's just I'm a fan of the original.
It seems like a very noticeable downgrade from like playing it on a different console. So
yeah, I think that's fair enough.
it controversial to say that I'm not the biggest fan of Puzzle Fighter?
I mean, I'm not a fan of puzzle games in general.
I'm not the biggest fan of it either, as someone who's really into fighter puzzle versus games.
I'm not into puzzle games.
Right,
I always thought it's fine, but I don't feel strongly about it.
Yeah.
Should we just about this though, because it is a pretty compromised port on the same grounds that we wouldn't put in the arcade versions of certain fighting games. All right. We should. Right, next one. So, my thing, why did Bob include some shovelware? But I don't know. I'm quite fond of this. This is ultimate brain games, and it's just a bunch of kind of public domain games. I think the other complementary game that's coming up later might have a slight edge over this, but it's just kind of a solid collection of. But this whole video is just chess, so I hope you like chess. There are other games on here. There's let's see here. There's the board game, the one with the spotted rectangles. I have a rousing game of drop the pucks.
Face creator, you can create faces.
Yeah, you can actually make a character in that weird little sprite thing at the top there. This is a very hard sell, but this is
Her
just.
mouth is she can scream.
Yes.
She looks like she's trying to scream.
I mean, having a bunch of board games on handheld is cool.
You can like pass it around,
Does
like
not look
hot
like
seat it.
even the best implementation of that. Maybe I'm spoiled, but
From what I know, this is as good as it gets in the GBA at least. But I know this is a very hard sell. Oh, there's got games other than chess. But yeah, whatever. It's a bunch. It's like it's close as you can get to like Clubhouse 51 or whatever. But if you want it, that's fine. Whatever.
you're definitely taking a dive from things like Wheel games and Clubhouse games, which was on the DS.
Yeah, I hear you. But anyway, whatever. If you want to.
I mean, I'm not against
I think
that
I've got the card game from the same line though, so I do think that one's better than this one.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So we'll get to that. So I think like some. What the hell was that?
A fucking Windows-ass dial-up menu.
Interesting. Okay.
Right, move on.
Interesting.
Don't know what this is.
Oh, a bunch of simple mini games again. What are you doing?
Yeah, let's green that last one and red this one. This one doesn't even have chess in it. Let's skip ahead a bit because there's a watch.
It's a whole watch.
It's probably literally the same video.
Incredibly unique.
Probably, yeah. And graphical glitches and all.
There's another green. Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Such a slam dunk, and we did a video on it like very recently. So
The only thing I'll say is the other one is also on here, but I do feel like just because of, you know, emulation,
Yeah.
like the idea is that you would be playing, you're not playing this in, you know, the original context, and this one's going to survive and that one's not.
Yeah, the whole
If that's how we're viewing it.
hypothetical 50 thing is a bit.
I think I like the other game more, but it's also like, it's a hard sell if you don't have a physical copy of it. So I'm just gonna say green this one.
I mean, we obviously have to agree with the other one. So we have a cartridge that has a tilt sensor and a solar sensor on it.
Just put all
Yeah,
the
just
gimmicks
make the
in
most
there, yeah.
expensive cartridge ever produced. You can also play
It
Twisted
sticks out
in.
6 feet.
It's actually quite easy to play Twisted on a phone. I want to point that out. But yeah.
All
Yeah, I
right.
would imagine.
Are you familiar with the next one, either of you?
No.
Nope.
No. Okay, interesting. It's just
What the fuck?
I mean, this series is incredibly European.
it is, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna put some like generic 3D platformer onto the GBA. Here's some stills of what I've seen in-game cutscenes, and then the game starts. You're like,
Oh, they actually ported a 3D platformer to the Game Boy.
yeah,
What the fuck? Wow.
yeah. I believe this is by. I don't want to get. So it's some weird warping stuff because this is basically kind
Yeah.
of just Doom shit, but like this is a Game Boy Advance. Like what the hell?
What a weird thing. What the fuck?
I probably should have researched this first, but I believe this is by a pair of Italian programmers. If we do this in 2 parts, I'll try and look that up for next time. But this is not the only game they've developed on the list. They were known for insane technical prowess. Yeah, let's get this tutorial level and just get something a wee bit more interesting. They did a 3D platformer on the GBA. I don't know how accurate this is with emulation. Based on the French comic, if it wasn't obvious. Absolutely insane. Like you thought, like
You thought
Some-
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater was crazy. This is...
Yeah, no
Yeah.
kidding.
yeah. It's probably relatively unknown because it is based on a very European IP.
It looks playable enough, too. If
Yeah.
not necessarily the most inspired level design.
You can tell he's in Egypt.
I mean,
Just, yeah, technically,
But, like-
whoa, I don't know what's going on there. Maybe that's in the comics. I have no
Great
idea.
Stomp. I mean, he's a big
Weird.
guy, so I just assume it's an earthquake stomp.
this is certainly novel.
As for how
I'm almost willing to put it in because it's just so
how many
novel.
other full 3D platforms are we gonna have in here? I mean, that warping's a little weird, but come on.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look completely fucking awful.
The frame rate
No, it
was
looks
alright.
fine. Yeah.
I think
This is probably the purest expression of what the hell, what is this doing on a handheld that we've had in other games and we didn't quite push it to this level.
Yeah, this could almost
Yeah.
pass for a DS game.
Yeah,
Alright, so what are we doing with that? I don't have much else to say about it. I don't really know much about it, just that it exists.
Put it in.
I won 3D platform. I'll be alright with that.
Sure.
Yeah, worst comes to worst, it'll be this collection's Campanella 3.
Yeah. Okay, so we're not going to dwell on this because I pretty much already said this is basically a Japanese-only game with a track editor in it. I think we'd rather just go with the one with a like a fully translated, full-on story mode. But
yeah, when there's a story mode, it helps to have it translated.
Yes, it certainly does. Although I just kind of include this because I do like me a good track editor in a racing game.
Oh yeah,
For sure.
But I don't want to dwell on this.
Yeah.
Alright. Next one.
This is kind of... I kind of wanted to touch on this whole genre of remakes of the original Final Fantasy series games on the SNES with a significant amount of extra features and such.
Right.
Like, I don't know if it's something we'll actually put in the collection, but, like, it's more than just a port, really.
Right, yeah, because there's like the NES games, and they have like, but this just has a ton of quality of life things, I believe. Because the original NES games were pretty
changed
rough.
the actual MP rather than the like fucking Dungeons and Dragons spell slot system.
Oh well, I know that line.
Yeah. But unfortunately, I don't have much actual experience. This is just something I wanted to put out here. I don't think it'll make it in at the end of the day, but
No, I don't think it will, because this is.
I think when a lot of people think of you know, Game Boy Advance, these will be brought to mind.
Yeah, no, they're nice ports. I definitely think about them. I like the sprite work. It's a very tasteful updating, but ultimately, we're not really gonna.
I'm
definitely
sort of
not
highlighting this as sort of the Super Mario Advance series plus.
No, that's absolutely fine, and I was tempted to bring it up as well, but so I think we've probably just read that and move on. But it's neat though. I like to acknowledge it.
Wait, what the hell is Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland doing in 2004?
Yeah, so I just spent the entirety of that looking at the release dates for the Kirby games. Nightmare in Dreamland was 2002, and Amazing Mirror was 2004.
Huh. Well,
Yeah,
if you want to correct that, then
I know for sure it was based on the Nightmare in Dreamland engine.
Yeah.
Oops.
Well,
sorry, my bad.
I was very curious.
And that's why we kind of covered this one in that one, because I assumed you didn't put it on.
Yeah, I was like, I was surprised to see it.
Oh well.
Yeah, so we're not including this. We've already talked about it.
Not a Kirby game, yeah.
It's
not a Kirby.
It's just it is a Kirby
Long
game.
year, get out. Alright, sorry about that. There was a
lot.
lot. There was a lot. Okay.
Oh yeah, this is Nintendo Software Technology Corporation.
No, it's
I'm not
Donkey Kong.
super familiar with them. I think they're American. I'm not sure. But this is sort of the sequel to the DK94.
Yeah.
The Game Boy game. And it's a puzzle platformer. And its main gimmick is colored, blocks, color, switches that make certain colors like solid and not solid. And then at the end, after beating all the levels, you go through the thing again with a new set of levels where you have a mini Mario with the thing in that thing, and you're kind of leading it around Lemming style almost. because it's small and can go through things. And that's also what you do in like the stage before the boss stage in each of these.
What the hell?
Oh, oh, this is the bonus game after every area, which is kind of. See, the problem with this game is it feels cheap as hell. Even though it's well made, but like the production values just don't feel like
doesn't
they're
look
there.
very nice. These pre-rendered sprites are not great.
It looks like it's trying to pretend that it's 3D.
It looks like
It's
some
like
kind
trying
of
to
weird.
fool you into thinking that it. Yeah.
It looks like a weird Flash game or something, like some bootleg.
Yeah, it's got good points to it, but it's also kind of got negative points to it. And if you want to play today, the Switch version, I mean, probably harder to get held on, but it's just way better because it doesn't have this issue. And it also has 2 new worlds.
Looking at this just makes me want to play Donkey Kong 94.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely, it's definitely
I
the same
definitely
vein of
want
that,
to
but...
acknowledge this.
No, that's fine, it's just...
Yeah, it's not quite there.
So, no?
He wants to say no, but maybe I'm being too harsh on it because it's a Nintendo-produced game. Like, if this wasn't a Nintendo game, maybe we would have put it in there anyway. And if it wasn't a sequel to a game that was better, but on a different console.
I will say the art is really putting me off.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, well,
just
I
put it
mean...
in yellow and
Yeah.
we'll just see what happens.
Yeah, it's
Definitely.
all low on the list, but yeah.
Yeah. All right, so this is it's Metal Slug on the GBA. We've talked about this one too.
Oh yeah, we have? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, you were there for that.
Shit. I think it was a while ago, but yeah.
It was. So this is not like an ideal version of Metal Slug, but it is.
It is a
certainly,
different version of Metal Slug.
Yeah, it's got like story, and
It's got a bunch of collectible cards, some of which upgrade your abilities. And there's a lot of emphasis on secret finding, and you have a life bar.
I'm gonna be honest,
There's also
as much as I like
dungeons in
Metal
the
Slug...
post-game that has like a whole bunch of hidden stuff in it.
For the record, I've never played this.
I played it briefly. It's not what I'm looking for from Metal Slug, but it's not bad either. Like, I don't have really a lot of bad things to say about it other than the graphics are definitely compromised in terms of animation.
Yeah, I mean...
frames.
And it is a console-ified experience, so to speak, in that,
What?
like, you know...
What the hell?
Oh, I think there's a card you get for just dying or something like that.
Okay.
Brilliant. This is definitely just going to be like, how much do we want Metal Slug on our collection? Because it is an
We want
option.
more games.
Maybe not like this. Oh, it looks
There is
alright.
another game on this
Yeah.
list that I would rather play.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
if you have another game in mind.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know what it is, yeah. And I think that would be better. That's a bespoke GBA game.
Yep.
I would probably just... Yeah.
I mean, this is really a bespoke GBA game. It's just using...
Well, yeah, admittedly, yeah, but the other one is more so. Because it's to be using sprites.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Gotcha.
This...
Yeah.
Exterminate.
So, Zero Mission, it's a lot faster paced. It does very well in upgrading the original game with a bunch of extra stuff. This is
Especially
very
that
much a new
NES
game.
game was probably plays like shit. Let's be real.
It plays all right, but it's really hard to. There's flaws,
Yeah.
serious flaws.
I actually
Um,
beat this. It's
this one
pretty
is
good.
very open compared to Fusion.
I remember really
Not a lot
liking
of
this.
story, but a lot of that is because, yeah, you know, you're making Zero Mission, you know.
Well, they should do this style with like Super Metroid. I might enjoy it then. I say a fan should make it, but that would just get taken down, wouldn't it?
Like, I don't know how we could justify putting both in, because
They're very similar, and
they're
yet
pretty
they have,
similar.
yeah.
I think
They're similar enough for the purposes of UFO 50 that we wouldn't want two of them.
You know, for a second there, I thought they're like, oh, they're using like the old Fraps thing. They're running this at 99 frames per second, and I was like, oh wait.
No, yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Ultimately, it depends on what you want from your Metroid game. I think if I had to pick one, I would say Fusion.
Maybe
Like,
they are different enough.
If I had to pick one, they are similar, but they are different. But
I will say
they're
for the
not different
record,
enough.
I prefer Fusion.
I think we just include Fusion. I mean,
Yeah.
it's also not a remake of something. Even if this one is different enough, it's still like
Oh,
Fusion is just
yeah,
the more
yeah.
original game. It's the more preferred game. I think.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. For us, yeah. Yeah, there's no going. It's something that a lot of people will argue about, but I think we want one, and I think we'll just end up with Fusion.
I mean, I
This is
don't...
another just like if you want to substitute the other one, then go for it. But
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we
Another
like both of
Pac Man
them.
Zero section. Yeah.
yeah, we like both of them, so it's not like we're making a hard stance here. It's just we're gonna pick one because that's just
Yeah.
easier, and we're gonna pick Fusion.
Yeah.
So this is one I put on. This is one I put on because I saw it and was kind of mind blown, and then you put an Asterix and Obelix,
Oh.
and now I'm just like, Although this seems like it's, the original Pac Man World was a much less shovelware-y game, so to speak.
For the
So
record,
that
I don't
might-
know a thing about Pac Man World. Never played it, never seen it, I don't know. Is this just a
This
port
is-
of that? Is that just literally this?
This is Asterix and Obelix kick this guy's lunch. Like I did not expect you to pull that out. I expected this to be the mind-blowing one. So yeah.
Right? Yeah, it's after that. This is not. This seems tepid in
Oh
comparison.
dear, alright.
Uh-oh.
Fucking destroyed me.
Die.
Sorry, Pac Man. You got beaten by a French comic. Alright.
Pac-Man's one weakness: the French.
Yes.
The French. Oh boy.
We'll get to
First time
finally.
we're talking about this.
What is this?
We're talking about
This is that one of those pocket Pokemons I've heard about.
Alright, so there's this thing that got released on the Game Boy Color. It's called Pokemon, and you pick Pokemon, and you make a team of 6 of them, and they're RPG battles where you use abilities.
Have we really never
And then-
spoken about this franchise?
No, we've been planning to do a long play with ARPA for the last like 80 years, but and anyway, yeah,
But
no.
It's a very unique battle system that is able to be taken seriously enough for people to play it competitively. Like,
Somehow.
even if it's somewhat wonky sometimes, like, this is a legit, like, competitive game.
Are you talking about modern Pokemon or this era? Was this Gen 3?
This is definitely where they made great strides in that area. All of them have some via people who play competitively. I think Generation 3 is when, like, there aren't a whole lot of people who play 1 or 2 competitively, but there are still people who play 3 competitively.
Okay,
It's
so
definitely.
so this game in particular. So I'm gonna be so I guess because I'm apparently haven't stated it anywhere else. My history is like I had like an intense love for Pokemon, like the first gen when it came out in the UK, and it was like sort of like I was really like super into Pokemon, and I think I was super into Pokemon for like 1 year exactly. Like it burned intently, and then I just completely dropped off. So I got Pokemon Red, Pokemon Gold, and I just fell off hard. So I don't know really much about this. So I know
More than one
about
year, but yeah.
Pokemons, yeah. Well, but not literally, yeah, but it felt like it. So yeah, I don't know much about this.
If compared to other games, like Emerald, what it did is it sort of set the foundation for the later games in terms of like breaking compatibility with the early ones. It like kind of did technical things under the hood to like set the foundation that would be used later on. But the other thing is the introduction of double battles, which is a very popular way to play where there are two Pokemon at once, and so you have to worry about like, you know, combination moves and like combining two strategies together. And the other one was abilities, which are just passive effects that each Pokemon has, or triggered effects, which just adds another layer of strategy.
Right. For the record, I have like touched upon like a lot of Pokemon games after this. I actually played Black, so when I say it fell off, I don't mean like quite that literally, but yeah.
But it is a unique RPG series, so I would definitely put this one here, and I definitely wouldn't put Fire Red and Leaf Green on this one.
That makes sense. It's a remake. I mean, for once, that's actually coming up next. Wow, can you believe it? We don't actually deal with a series at once. No, that's fine. Yeah, it's a remake. We've had that
especially
issue.
Since the Fire Red, compared to later remakes in this series, Fire Red and Leaf Green is very conservative. Very conservative.
It doesn't. Yeah, and if you ever did a original Game Boy 50, like it's just nostalgia, but I would say like Red and Blue have a certain 8-bit charm to them that the remake kind of lacks. Maybe it is nostalgia, but I'd hate to like lose that because we put a remake on here or something. I don't know.
Yeah, this is definitely not the kind of remake that gets on these kind of lists.
I guess this would just. Yeah. I guess it'd be just weird not to include this if this is the one Pokemon game.
Yeah, and also, like, it is a unique compared to other RPGs.
Hey, look, double battles.
In that you're fighting against... your opponents play by the same rules you do. That's what makes it so different.
I never really thought of that, but that's a good point. I mean, this was like the first JRPG I ever played, so this was like was the norm for me. So I never really thought about how weird that is.
It's not like Final Fantasy or something where the bosses are just very different from your capabilities.
Yeah. So that's just it's just agreeing. We're saying, should I even bother with
this?
Emerald.
Yeah, it's Emerald, and the other one is Fire Red and not Leaf Green.
And not Water Blue because of Japan, which I. Alright. Another beat 'em up.
This is.
It's Technos. It's a NES classic.
I'm going to admit I actually have very little experience with River City Ransom, and what I know about it doesn't impress me that much, but it is certainly a unique game.
The novelty was definitely more on the 8-bit era. I feel like some of that might be lost by the time
there was an RPG element in a beat 'em up. It was a genre combiner, and combining genres with, especially RPG, with something else is a lot more, known now.
Yeah, whenever I play this, I kind of think of that Scott Pilgrim game. It's neat. Let's skip ahead of it. Let's get to some of the shops. I feel like this is one where if it was NES 50, it'd be a shoe-in. Yeah. This remake, not so much. This
doesn't look like much of a remake.
It's not as impressive as that Double Dragon one.
Some added stuff, but this isn't.
I'm alright with. I feel like I'm
we're not doing Arcade 50 ever because what
would that even be? Yeah. Well, you could do I don't know, CPS 50, Neo Geo 50.
Yeah.
Neo Geo 50 would just be fighting game.
No,
Neo Turf Masters,
really.
fighting game.
I mean,
Super
not really,
Dodgeball.
'cause there's a lot of
Metal Slug.
puzzle fighters on there too, and other puzzle games.
Yeah, I
Oh,
know.
yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
not that literally, but still, there's a lot of fucking fighting games.
Yeah, it is a lot of fighting to beat them.
Let's get one of them
Alright,
Zelda
so-
games.
Yep. So, like, if you want a Zelda game on the GBA, this is your option, other than the port of Link to the Past. This is in the era where Capcom was making the Zelda games for the portables.
Weird, but okay.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And it also has Smash Brothers Melee trophies.
What?
What?
What do you
Complete
mean?
with the you know the how you got the trophies from that slot machine thing, where if you gambled more, the chances went up. It has that in it.
Oh,
Weird. Okay.
But the big gimmick of this game is the Minish Cap, which lets you shrink.
and
then-
this is, I guess, worth noting, is it's the Wind Waker art style, so it's like that continuity? I don't know if the story... No idea about the story.
So the continuity is complicated, but just say this is before the timeline splits. This is actually one of the earliest games in the series,
Okay.
as far as the timeline goes.
Is this like... Yeah, I mean, the art style's the Wind Waker, though. It's like
Yeah,
the Wind
Yeah,
Waker
yeah.
thing, I don't know, universe.
yeah.
Is there anything to say about that?
No, this is a very good, very solid Zelda game.
Excellent. I haven't played it. Probably good.
I'll take your word for it. Just green that, I suppose. Alright.
Mhm.
It's gonna seem really underwhelming now, but...
Ultimate card games.
It's a bunch of card
Oh,
games.
Is this like the worst fucking bitrate? Is this a like 420p video or something?
I had a hell of a time getting a video of this particular game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
imagine.
looks. Yeah, I was just like, does it look that ugly because it's a bad YouTube video? And I'm thinking yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say it's an award-winning graphical show.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Hold on. I need to see how good Bob is at playing poker.
I got 2 pairs. Right, hang on, let's see
Oh,
what I've got.
you
I've got
reach for
double fives. Five of a kind. 2 fives.
No, that's the player, not Bob.
Oh,
You folded.
Bob's
I
up
can't
there.
believe it.
I folded.
Yeah,
Oh
there you
yeah.
Oh, I didn't even see me. I thought you meant.
go.
That's what I look like, by the way.
That's how great you are at poker. You're playing with the wrong hand.
No wonder I keep fucking up. But I can see my I can see my opponent's hand, and I'm still losing. Oh, God.
Okay, so-
it's poker. It's looking. It's a
As
bunch
someone
of.
who likes card games and board games a lot, and I play games like the Clubhouse games, and I play games on the PC, and they kind of blow this out of the water. This is
I
definitely
mean-
the shovelware end of this. I can understand why you're trying to,
No, that's fine.
like,
I'm trying to get the
get
board
this
game
on.
thing in. That's all. That's fine.
but
yeah,
yeah.
and compared to that
Like,
one with
and
Buy.
it's very appealing. But there are better options even in this era, just not necessarily on this console that we know about.
Yeah. No, I got you. Alright, we'll just let
Alright.
that. Alright, this.
Well, I think we already kind of discussed this.
Yep.
I like this game a lot. You'd have to
Well,
put it in
I mean-
something where you can emulate it properly because it, yeah.
At the same time, I don't know if phone emulation is that big an ask anymore.
Yeah, this theoretical, like, collection thing is just...
Well, we don't know,
it
but
very
we've got a
much is.
WarioWare game in here anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'd rather put the more simple one in than the gimmicky one, even if I do end up liking this one a lot.
Yeah, I think I
So-
agree with that.
I'm perfectly content.
This one's
to
very
just,
novel,
rent
but
this
yeah,
one.
I would rather have the more simple one, even if it's not necessarily better.
If I had to pick and the twisted part wasn't a factor, I would pick this one because the first one has some growing pains with the.
It does.
But honestly, I agree that we should.
Oh, like the logic games are just
Do it
kind of
here.
busted because they're all set, they're like the double time and.
Well, that and
And-
the amount of reusing the first Wario games in other
Oh,
people's
yeah.
stuff, that was very weird.
Yeah,
was.
some actually some like 7 variants of that power bar game with the
Yeah. This one definitely.
We'll move on, yeah.
Yeah, so hey, here's a Donkey Kong game about swinging around on pegs.
This has
And
nice
like
graphics.
the L button is your left hand,
Yeah.
R button is your right hand.
I played this very
let's
briefly.
Pass the tutorial here,
Sorry.
so you can see what the game actually looks like. But yeah, you can kind of get what's going on by like just kind of looking at it. Each hand is controlled with a different shoulder, and you're trying to like maneuver yourself around.
This is absolutely one of the most UFO 50 games on here. Like, just check out this weird gimmick. Check out this.
DK got weird in this era.
Yeah. They were doing all sorts of just whatever with DK.
They're like, well, we got him now. Again.
I was gonna say, there's a lot of country music and cranky there.
Yeah.
I mean, they only just they just redesigned him for that new one they just announced. So.
Yeah.
I think this is a shoo-in just from the gimmicks alone.
It's novel.
I can't think of it, and it looks nice. But definitely looks better than that other Donkey Kong game we looked at. Yeah, fine. Alright.
Do it.
Oh,
So,
gun.
yeah, gun. So remember the Asterix and Obelix game?
Yeah.
Well, they were also asked to make some other GBA ports of other games. So here's the much maligned Driver 3, like the GTA killer that just didn't pan out. And then like
You said
make
GBA, and I heard GTA, and I was like, they made GTA ports of Driver? But, oh no.
Holy crap. Is this a GTA style game on the Game Boy Advance?
Yes.
But like actually?
Yeah.
Not like the overhead one, like the original, but the modern GTA.
There is a Grand Theft Auto Advance, which I don't think is on our list. I don't think I put it on. I forget. No. But there is this.
Holy crap.
This is, the Asterix and Obelix devs, and I promise when we get to part 2, I'll double check their names. But holy shit.
You're
No
God.
kidding.
Absolutely insane. Skip over.
What do we...
What is
This
it
gets
with
on
these
there on
GBA games and
insanity
cutscenes?
alone.
Oh, we've got bikes as well. Even GTA 3 didn't have bikes.
Like, this and the fact that it doesn't look like complete horseshit.
Yeah, I'm kind
Like-
of shocked.
This is, at the very least, playable, which is fucking amazing.
It actually looks good. Maybe not even amazing, but still, like...
Just for the sheer novelty of it. I don't think it's been an open world 3D game in like a genre criteria,
Uh-huh.
So
That's...
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Alright. Next one.
Yay!
More treasure.
It's treasure, it's Gunstar Heroes, it's Gunstar Superheroes.
It's
They made a sequel to the original Gunstar Heroes, or like a spin-off or something, I don't know.
I don't know.
It's like a remake, but it isn't anything like the original at the same time. But it is, on its own, a really, really good run and gun game.
yeah.
It ditches the cool weapons combination system for just a character select, which actually has different loadouts per character for red and blue, and you get like charge shots. So you like build up a meter essentially. It's like your EX meter, more or less. Like you just build up this meter, and then you get to do powered versions of your weapons. You also have a much more robust melee system where you can do all sorts of uppercuts and slides and jump kicks, and you have a knife button.
That's always good, a knife
And
button.
yes, yeah.
So I never played this. I always heard of it as a disappointment.
I'm gonna be honest, I haven't
it's-
played it either, and I've heard the same thing. Probably because of that.
I think it is definitely, like, if you were looking for a proper sequel to Gunstar Heroes, you'll be disappointed. If you just want like a fairly neat run and gun game, this one's fine. Like, there's nothing terrible with it. Like, I don't have any real complaints other than just Gunstar Heroes is better. But this is a neat game. I actually really like it. I think the melee system is actually a lot of fun.
It wasn't.
Yeah. It is definitely different. And that's kind of to its detriment, but it does have its own unique flair in that I think the melee combat's actually pretty neat.
Alright.
And it's,
It's treasure.
it's a treasure run and gun on the GBA.
Where are they now? Where are they when we need them most? This isn't the one that references, like, Super Thunderblade of all things.
It has some few references. It has a Flicky reference in it, or at the very least, it has a section that plays like Flicky.
Oh, it has
for
its
some
own
reason.
version of the Dice Maze.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like kind of a remake in that it plays through, like, goes through the same beats, but a lot of it is handled differently.
Yeah, like I saw that was like a much more fleshed out board.
Yeah. But,
Why is it with treasure, like, just putting, like, signs with, like, the name of the game in there?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a tombstone. Alright, yeah, it's a... Oh, I get it, and it's, like, the date. That's
Yes.
funny. I would say this is probably getting over Metal Slug, which is a little... Yeah, right, this might be not as good as the original Gunstar Heroes, but they clearly put more effort into this than the Metal Slug Advance. I think I had to explain that's today, by the way.
No, I imagine that's like you know, on a tombstone where you put their birth date and then their death date.
Right.
You die today.
I really flex on that. I mean, this is just treasure with any console they have, but they'll flex on the...
There is absolutely no reason to not expect this from Treasure, but it's still great.
And there's 7 4s. Because of course. So yeah, it's like kind of my... This is a weird comparison. It's like Evil Dead 2. It's kind of like hitting on the same beats, but it's definitely its own thing.
Yeah. I think the one major disappointment, I'd say, and this is a small thing, but the final fight with Gold and Silver kind of is lame because he literally doesn't move. He just stands in the background. But
oh well.
no, it's yeah.
Although you're fighting the wall texture.
Yeah.
Cool. So what's this, Yoshi?
So,
Is this anything like
this
Party
may be
House?
more of an acknowledgement than anything, but like, they're like, okay, we got Mario Party on the Game Boy Advance, but multiplayer is kind of awkward. Let's make this a single-player game with a bunch of single-player mini-games where you move around a board and it beat a bunch of different, like, characters in adventures. Like, bring items to different items. It's so weird.
Yeah,
I can't
interesting
believe they
choice
did
for a
this.
party. I don't really think that this is a party machine. Come around to my house, let's all gather on the GBA.
Yeah, because it's not. Yeah, they changed it to not even be a party thing, because it's all about mini games, but they're single player mini games.
So is it like Mario Party in name only?
Sort of. I mean, it doesn't play like it's more of a spin-off rather than Mario Party in name only.
Sure.
In that you're still going around a board and hitting dice blocks and playing mini games.
Right.
It's kind of hard to say, but like
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how much. Like, either you're gonna have to sell me on this, or
no, I don't know what. I'm not entirely sure why I put it on anyway.
I remember the concept alone. I was just like, yeah, I'm not interested in that.
Yeah.
I can't say I'd be too enthusiastic about playing Mario Party by myself, that's a bit... I know it's not literally, I know that.
I was just like, this is fucking weird.
Yeah, just another acknowledgement thing, but no, this is... I've never heard anyone say, like, this is surprisingly good, so... I'm just gonna roll with, not rolling with it.
Okay, so I know of this, but...
Yeah, so... Remember when we were, put some roguelikes in the other ones? This is sort of the big one. This is... Mystery Dungeon, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. There's a series of Japan-only roguelikes called the Mystery Dungeon series. And this was... They'd been going on for a while, and they've sort of innovated their own take on everything. And this is a crossover with Pokemon, which is not their first crossover, but since it's Pokemon, it got actually ported to the US. And sort of where the series, which, and RPGs, of course, were also just on the rise in general, but this is taking your roguelike and a very long story-based roguelike with lots of different areas and such, and also smashing it with Pokemon, which means every single Gen 3 move is in here, and like they figured out for each one how they would adapt it to like a complete, like, you know, what range will it hit? How will I adapt this weird experimental mechanic to a completely different system? And also, every single Pokemon has a sprite sheet, brand new. It's just an insane amount of work.
Yeah, I guess we don't have any roguelikes on here yet, do we? Or not traditional ones.
This is a shot in the dark. Yoshi, do you remember that Diavolo game that Melee was always talking about?
I never saw it, but I always suspected it was based on Mystery Dungeon.
Right. That's what I'm getting from this, is like that was based on this series.
Yes.
I guess.
So you notice I put Red Rescue Team and not Blue Rescue Team? Well, you also notice that we're late into the GBA lifespan. The blue version was on the DS.
Huh.
While the red version is on the Game Boy, and so they actually made sense of the like version things.
Huh.
The DS version doesn't like use the DS hardware much at all. Like it's the same graphics and stuff, but like the fact that you have an extra button and a second screen for some additional status stuff is very good in an RPG. So this could technically be considered an inferior port, but at the same time,
How different could it be? It's not like particularly tech heavy, is it?
No.
Yeah. This seems like it's worth keeping around. It actually looks pretty fun.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it is very solid.
The Adventures of Psyduck and Chikorita, which is
Yeah, you get, there's like 12 different choices for you and your partner. Like, you get yours with a personality test.
Why would I not want to play Psyduck? Yeah, I would agree.
And
sure.
which means all those Pokemon had to have the whole bunch of like extended sprite sheet for all the cutscene stuff.
Right, yeah. Portraits and all that.
Well, one awkward point is that the build a team aspect is somewhat mitigated by the fact that for a good portion of the middle part of the story, you are like sent you become an exile from the town and you have no access to your stuff. And so like you can't like all the people who aren't you or your partner suddenly become 20 levels behind by the time you get back to them. But that's
Yikes.
a bit of a quibble in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's cute. I like it.
And it's just so how they did so much because there are like so many Pokemon moves and so many Pokemon, and they all had to be adapted individually.
Nice.
Like I like how the idea of quick attack is just it hits 2 spaces in front of you instead of 1.
Nice.
I do not envy people who have to port Pokemon game or make Pokemon games with all the Pokemon in them. All right.
Okay, so this game again. I don't think this is on
Media
my
pool.
list. Was this you, Yoshi?
I just said in general the Final Fantasy ports. That's what I just said.
Okay, because we did. This made it into the SNES one, didn't it?
Yeah.
So this is how I beat. No, not how I beat this game, but this is how I first played Final Fantasy V, which I'm fond of. And this does have extra jobs in it, which is nice, and it's got some quality of life
Wasn't
things.
Final Fantasy V one of the JP only ones?
It was, yeah. Well, it was on the Super Nintendo, then they translated it for the GBA.
Yeah. Well, this is like not unique to you. This is how pretty much everyone first played this game.
I guess so. Well, no, it was
In
on,
the West.
no, it was on the PS1 in the West. There was a PS1
okay.
port.
Right.
But yes, this is how I played it. But I feel like we've already covered this. This is definitely
Yeah.
superior to the Super Nintendo version, or Super Famicom, I should say. But yeah, we've looked at this.
We already went over all the reasons we reddited before.
I don't think it's gonna make it into this GBA one, and there's better GBA JRPGs. Unfortunately, I can't really think of any off the top of my head. I'll just get to the next game.
That's why I put Golden Sun in there. Yeah.
Oh, what's this?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I can't think of any. Yeah.
Oh boy, Mother 3 certainly is a game that people have been really wanting to get translated officially for a long time because it's really good. It's another one I don't know how much I can say other than, you know,
It's being said.
it's a sequel to Earthbound.
But
Earthbound
it's
is an incredible
a lot more-
game.
It's even more in depth and characterful.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah, it is. It's got a heavier plot in
It's
terms of quantity and quality.
yeah, it's only more
and,
coherent than the plot in one, but
Mhm.
it's still very quirky. This is one of my favorite games of all time. I'm not even like a big RPG guy, but this game is incredible.
What the
I
hell is the
haven't-
name? It's Itoy or something? He just
Yeah.
made such unique games.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know if there's. Yeah, I don't know what else there is to say about it.
Like,
I think
Uh,
we
uh,
haven't.
Does it have like a rhythm element to the fights now?
it does,
Yeah, there is a combat gimmick where you have to time your hits with the music, and it changes depending on, of course, which song it is. And some of them are much more complicated than others, and to the point where part of the difficulty spike is the same song, but with like beat drops entirely to like throw you off. So, yeah, like just a very unique game.
Another take on action commands.
Yes.
The sprite
And
work
that's
is
actually
so
the reason.
good.
That's the reason I actually haven't played the game is because emulating it's very fickle whether or not the beat system actually works correctly.
I mean, it probably is nothing. It probably is flawless nowadays.
Probably, but I just remember whenever this first released,
Yeah.
for some strange reason, it was good on every emulator except like PC emulators. If you put it on a console, like PSP or Wii, it worked great. But if you played it on your PC, it was really dodgy.
And
Very strange.
MGBA, or was it a Visual Boy Advance, is one of those emulators like Dissonance where it's like, no, don't use it anymore. It had its place, but don't use it anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's
I assume we're including that.
yeah,
'cause
of
we-
course,
yeah.
yeah.
Enough recommendation.
It's one of I'd love to do a watch of if it wasn't like 90 hours long or something.
Nah. Yeah.
Maybe do more of those, like we did with the original Earthbound.
Yeah, just playthroughs.
Alright, last one.
Yep.
This is kind of hard to get a video of, but do we know this
So-
series?
The WarioWare people made a rhythm-based Wario game, and I'm not too familiar with them. I know that this one is Japan only, the later ones aren't. And now there's another one coming up, like, announced 3 days ago, so hey.
Yeah. I know somebody who is a huge fan of this series, and she has shown me quite a bit of the gameplay of these games. And they look really neat.
They are
I'm
very difficult.
there's a lot of a lot of fun stuff going on with the the aesthetics, a lot of humor.
Yeah, you can tell it's made by the WarioWare people, but they're
Mhm.
going for their own style and going for rhythm.
Yeah, I mean these are very challenging games. Like I can't stress that enough.
For sure.
I think I played the one on the DS. Oh yes, and they just absolutely destroyed me before I really got a handle for it. I know I'm a big fan of the one on the Wii.
So I can't speak specifically on this version, but I can't imagine it being any less quality than its sequels.
No.
Oh my god, the vocals.
Well, I mean, if it's a WarioWare devs, they had that down, didn't they?
Yeah. It seems even better here, though. Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely isn't syllables strung together. That is 2006 GBA.
I think that's
So,
a green, just because we don't have anything else
That's a
like it.
green.
Alright. Cool.
Okay.
So that's phase 1 completed.
Yeah.
Do we just sort them by color and
Pretty.
Hey, okay.
Oh god, it was a long time ago we did this, damn.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Alright, well. Alright, so we're back after a bit of a break, and we're gonna finally try and finish this off and decide. Whittle down is the wrong word because we're under par. I guess whittle up to 50. Can you add when you add wood to something with your knife to bulk it up? You whittle up. I don't know. But we currently we need 19 more. We've got 15 in the maybes. Although we might want to review them all anyway. It's not just a given. Yoshi's just given us 2 more games just to have a look at. So
Also would like to mention that I think we mentioned like fucking Fire Emblem Sacred Stones, but we didn't actually put it on here. But I think that's another situation like the Golden Sun or the other ones where you just pick the first one and then you just pick which one you want to put in there.
Yeah.
Just wanted to acknowledge that, though.
Sure, yeah.
So this is Pinball.
Yep. This is. I thought I put it there because this is probably the pinball game that I know the most on here. I feel like it has a much more appealing art style than those other 2 pinball games.
Wait, what are you going against the House of the Dead? No, I agree. Man, this suddenly looks like a graphical overhaul of that Game Boy Color game.
Well, yeah, it is. It is like a sequel to that.
I realized that, but it wasn't until I saw it. I was just like, yeah, that is absolutely in that line. It's always a given. I don't know.
Same developer too.
Yeah, I can tell. Because I mean, I knew there was like another Pokemon pinball game. It doesn't necessarily mean, like this.
Yeah.
Sonic's Pinball Party is not Sonic's Pinball, Anyway,
Yeah,
but yeah,
exactly.
no, you can absolutely see this as an upgrade from the Game Boy Color game with the Rumble card. Does this have a Rumble?
I don't think so. Yeah, do that. One thing I've seen when looking at other
sorry to interrupt, if you play it on a GameCube, then it will make your GameCube controller rumble.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. One thing I've seen when people talk about pinball is a lot of people don't really understand pinball, that it has goals and shit. And isn't just smacking things into things to get points. And this game
I just
feels
watched
like...
I watched a video by a guy on One Quote. He
Yeah.
didn't know much about pinball, and he's just like, this one's unique because it has goals. I'm like, yeah, about that.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, like, and this is sort of like, I've heard people like say this is what introduced, like, you know, this game kind of gives you goals, like the obvious goal of catching all the Pokemon, and it's something that saves, like, you know, between like games instead of just being combined to it. And so it ends up being a gateway drug until like eventually people realize, oh, I can actually get really high scores here too after they've started catching a bunch of Pokemon and such. And
I love how
there's
I'm
little
just
boss
noticing,
battles.
I'm just seeing a lot of like real pinball mechanics here. You've got the Magnus save kind of, the Addams family kind of magnets adjusting. So you got the spinner there represented with Pikachu charging, more so than the Game Boy Color game.
Yeah, Pikachu and Pichu are kickbacks.
Yeah. Looks neat. Yeah. What was the other pinball game? I can't remember. Did House of the Dead and
Sonic Pinball Party, I think.
Oh yeah, I already said the name of it out loud and I still forgot. See, I would probably put this over the other two. And I say that as a big Sega fan, but no, this looks good.
Yeah, the art is just so much more appealing.
I'd be alright with that.
Okay, sure.
Well, of course, what we need to do is remove more entries at this point, but we'll talk about that later.
Alright, so we're just gonna move on, I suppose. What's the next one?
So yeah, this is the only other thing that came to my mind. Like, Pinball Party is one I like. Was a Pinball Party, you know, was one I thought I put on there and I didn't. But this is another one I kind of put on there because, like, this is the Mario Golf game, which is kind of funny because it's using basically the same engine as Golden Sun.
Oh yeah.
Like, this was their overworld engine reworked into this, and then if you aren't familiar with the portable Mario Golf games, they are RPGs.
Huh.
And they like full on use the RPG style, complete with Golden Sun's just very distinctive style of animating characters.
Yeah, I'm noticing there's pre-rendered models there.
I'm sorry, what is the name of this game?
Mario Golf Advance Tour.
Okay, because what's written down is Mario Advance Tour, and I'm like,
That's Google it. That's what it came up with.
No. Yeah, Mario
Golf.
Advance.
Fuck.
I was like, what the fuck is this? Looking at the name, like, what is Mario Advance? And I see a golf game, like, I wasn't expecting that from the name Mario Advance Tour. But
hey, yeah. Anyway, this is a solid golf game using the same mechanics as the Mario Golf, and you can even like import your character. There's an RPG building character aspect, which is kind of interesting because all the stats, besides drive, like decay if you don't choose them often enough. And the idea is that if you're willing to like let a single stat like decay into 0, you can get a significant amount of extra drive.
Huh.
And you kind of feel like you build your character differently if you want to import them versus if you want to put them there, because this is a 2D game at its heart. There aren't like a whole lot of crazy obstacles, but as the GameCube version game has a lot of, you know, just obstacles in midair and shit in the later courses, where having a big curve is more painful. I don't think this video you picked actually has any of the RPG mode. I think it's just a playthrough of the...
Well, then I don't believe a word you're saying. Where is it? It's fine. Yeah. I'm hunting for another
kinda
video
get
now. I
it
take
up.
your word for it. This is like what, like arcade mode or something? Just I want to play golf mode.
Yeah. I want to hit a fucking cactus and end up in the waste.
The waste area. I hate it when that happens. To be honest with you, we can afford to be very generous now. I can't think of a good reason not to put this in. It looks very nice.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It is a unique entry here.
Alright, so how are we gonna go about this? So we just greened all the yellows.
Yeah, let's just look at them once to see if there's anything absolutely, like, wretched in there, but,
I mean, I'm guessing not if we made it yellow.
nah. Maybe Ultimate Brain Games, but I think at this point we can afford to be a little
Yeah.
nice.
So what are we
That
needing now? So, oh right, that's not many. 3. Okay. Congratulations. Alright, so I might just superimpose anything over that now. We need 3 of these.
So, Sonic Battle, obviously.
Oh god. Oh. I guess we didn't really find an FPS.
I don't know.
I don't know.
We don't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. But again, we're in, you know. I'm just wondering if one of the Doom should make the cut or not.
I mean,
I'm looking at these.
there's X versus 7, but I don't, which is apparently good, but I don't know enough about it to vouch for it.
Like, looking at these reds, there's a lot. It's a lot of choices between very, like, questionable quality versus very exactly the same as something already on the list.
I think anything that's exactly the same should just not,
Yeah.
no, like Final Fantasy 1 and 2. But then again, that's quite significant.
What about V-Rally 3 again? Did you know much about that?
No, it looks neat. It looks alright.
Do you think Metal Slug Advance is probably
I was
one of the
thinking
strongest
that.
ones in there? Yeah.
It's one of the better ones.
Yeah, it's
too.
alright. Okay.
2 more. Did we
What,
put
we
Tony
had a
Hawk
beat
Pro
'em up,
Skater in
right?
here? Oh, we have 3. Okay.
We have a beat 'em up, I'm pretty sure.
We had a fucking what is it? Double Dragon Advance.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Check yours. Kirby and Metroid just not going to make it in because there's others.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about before with things that are the same as other things.
They're also
That's
just
our
NES
choice.
remix, so I mean I get that they're different. At least Metroid Zero Mission is a lot different, but
Yeah.
it's
Oh.
Is this the first time we've actually had we've been under?
yes.
Yes.
Apart from that,
Maybe we could put my WarioWare Twisted in there.
I was thinking it, yeah. Like, it's just a good game, so it is significantly different from the first one.
That's fine.
Significantly enough, I should say.
I almost want like another color, just like hell no. Not like hell no, but just
Delete it if it's hell no.
yeah, I suppose.
Actually, yeah, let's.
Shall we just go one at a time?
Maybe Street Fighter
Right.
2 Turbo Revival?
Let's go through them one at a time. Okay.
Okay.
Just right. Pinball of the Dead. We've all got a pinball game.
Yeah.
Doom. No, it's interesting, but it's not like really GBA.
Yeah.
Turbo Revival already got 2 fighting games.
Yeah, but it's not the worst idea, given that we have a decent amount of other.
I mean, I like it. It definitely is more. It's more uniquely GBA than the port of Alpha 3. Because it has its like, unique backgrounds and stuff.
But yeah, what I'm saying is that one shouldn't be dismissed like the other ones right now, because we're kind of on the low end here.
Alright, we'll just promote that back to yellow.
Yeah.
Tony Hawk's 2 I like, probably too similar to 3.
Yeah.
Broken Sword,
No.
neat, but no. Doom 2 again, no. That Legacy of Goku game, I know it's got its fans.
Doesn't look very good, no.
Silent Scope, no.
That was something I remembered everybody playing as a kid, and now I look at it as like, oh dear.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to shit on it. I'm sure if you've got nostalgia for it, it's fine. But yeah, Monkey Ball Jr. is just it's got like the same problem as Doom. V Valley.
Less of it, but yeah.
I don't know. V Valley.
We put it in there because we had no idea. I almost put it yellow because it's better than the other ones right now.
Do we have a driving game? We got that weird Driver 3 port. I suppose
there's a Mario
that
Circuit.
covers it.
Or,
oh yeah,
Mario
Kart.
Kart.
Although then again, we don't have a like regular ass driving game.
Well,
we don't have to though.
We don't have to. I'm just saying that.
V Valley 3. No. Golden Sun.
No.
It's not like a 2-part. No.
Yeah.
Sonic Battle. I do like Sonic Battle, but it's too much of a grind.
I mean, considering what we have, I'm gonna put that in there. Like, if we can't think of anything else, that's not a bad choice.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah.
That's what I.
It is very GBA.
It is for sure.
Pinball Party, nah. Pokemon 1 looked a bit better. Puzzle Fighter 2 is a bad port. We've already got an F-Zero game. Final Fantasy 1 and 2, because they are significantly different. I mean, the remakes, but those NES games are like very primitive in comparison.
Yeah. Oh, I thought that's our third yellow, maybe.
Alright.
Oh, okay.
Damn it!
That's okay.
I would argue Kirby is too similar to the other Kirby game, more so than Metroid.
Yeah, yes.
But that Metroid, any chance for Metroid? That might be yellow, that's a pretty good game. It's another remake, but
We might as well.
we've got 2.
Yeah, it definitely
NES
has a
remakes.
different feel to it than the other Metroid game.
Yeah, because I guess Fusion's a bit more linear as well.
Zero Mission's snappier.
It's a lot more
Very-
traditional. There's much more of what you'd expect from Metroid.
Yeah, and the physics are a lot faster, for lack of a better word.
Yeah. Pac Man World, nah.
Nah.
Pokemon's a remake. I
No.
don't think that's enough of a generational change.
No,
City
especially
Ransom-
that one was pretty conservative too.
Mm.
We have multiple, because we actually put Final Fight 1 on the list, so we have multiple beat-em-ups.
Maybe City Ransom, no. Ultimate Card Games, no.
No.
No, that's a SNES game.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, we need 2 and we got 4, so
We need 1.
Ultimate Brain Games was green?
wait.
We were
What?
really, we were really desperate for games, I think.
Oh, but because it was like, yeah, towards the end, we were like, oh,
Yeah.
God, we're not making many green. Alright, well, I mean, I'm alright with it, but I just remember the tone of that being very negative, and I was like, where is that? Where is that in the red list? Oh, it's not there, it's green.
I have a proposal.
All right. What?
Yeah.
Move Ultimate Brain Games out, and then move Final Fantasy 1 and 2 and Sonic Battle in.
Think? Yeah.
Alright, fine.
For all my problems with Sonic
I thought
Battle,
you-
it's at least a unique game, you know?
I thought you were gonna say, I've got an idea. GBA 49. You can't put Final Fantasy 1 and 2 in there, no, it's GBA 51.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, that matched me. I looked out. There's apparently a fucking Castlevania 2-pack Game Boy Advance game.
Oh, that one with like the GBA boxes on GBA boxes.
No, that was just
I think so.
was that
Oh,
just
that
Harmony
was just, no, that was Dawn, wasn't it? Like the DS one.
yeah.
Oh, I guess so. Apparently, there's a 2-pack with Harmony and Aria on it. I looked at it from Moby Games, so I didn't really get a good. Oh, yeah. So yeah, here's the actual cover. If you
I can do the Sega one again and put on like the Mega Kart 3-in-1 and the 8-in-1.
yeah.
You pad it out. Might edit that in. But yeah, that's it. I'm kind of really surprised we went under because I went into this one like I'm gonna have too many games on my list, and then I was like I need to whittle these down, and then I whittled a little too much. Yeah.
We also had a lot of series
Yeah.
where the individual entries weren't different enough. We had a lot more Sonic the Hedgehogs here.
Yeah.
We actually have 2 Sonic games now.
Yeah.
Finally.